Chat, it happened. It happened at long last. I'm a real streamer now. My streamer cherry has been popped. Only Barely Serviceable crashed right as I was going to go live. That's the first time Only Barely Serviceable has ever crashed while I have been attempting to make a stream. It has crashed several times while I've been doing stuff like recording audio and so forth, but that's the very first time it has actually crashed just as I was about to go live. There's our pleasant pheasant. That's actually quite a cute name. Thank you for that, Krigallo Bunsen. Also, hello, Cecilia. I deserved for being late. Why do I always get bullied? Like, the most late I've ever been for a stream is like 3 or 4 minutes. Why are you people so mean to me? Do I not entertain you? Do I not give you content? Do I not give you approbation? Do I not give you my love, my joy, my affection, my sincerity? You got the juice? What juice are you referring to right now? That very slightly worries me. Oh, and of course I forgot to turn off, I forgot to turn myself into streamer mode. Give me a moment. Streamer mode. Enable streamer mode. There we go. Sorry. I'm just in a kind of a rush because 20 minutes before stream started, I was like alerted to a whole other situation that is going down right now, so I was pretty majorly distracted by that. But fortunately, I did spend the last 2 hours getting together stuff for this stream. I do apologize if I am distracted here and there, because I am getting pinged on Discord about stuff fairly frequently. So yeah, but there is most definitely an awful lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But in fact, about an hour or so, it's been a very weird day, guys. It really has been a weird day, but about an hour or so before I intended to go live and everything, I saw a tweet on the Twitters, as it is. Let me just go there. Where is it? Yes, that's the tab. That's the tab. Yes. That I thought was so interesting and I decided there's no way that I can possibly do a stream like this without mentioning this, because it was just so weird, just so bizarre. And it's this. Sorry, allow me to just check, because I've not done some of my pre-stream stuff because of all this. Yep. Oh, for God's sake. Please give me a moment, because of course this would happen. Studio mode. Of course the window capture isn't working at the moment. There we go. Okay, now that it's working. Thank God that was an easy fix. Good evening, Nene Love. Good evening. Good evening. I'm very curious. I know there are Latin Americans that watch me. Like, how is cheating regarded in Latin America? Like, if a man cheats on his wife in Latin America and it becomes public, what's the general reaction from people? Donuts, Fruit heard you call her ugly in the expo stream and dropped the dog to change the subject. Sneaky. Well, I mean, it's not even that Fruit is ugly. It's more like, you ever seen that Roald Dahl, the Roald Dahl page where he talks about the difference between people who were ugly on the inside and ugly on the outside? In fact, that's probably something that's actually worth looking up. So give me just 1 second. Roald Dahl ugly people. Images. Oh yes, this is the one. This is the one. Hopefully it will appear properly on my stream. And I'm very much tab wrangling at the moment to a tremendous degree. Of course, this is on bloody Reddit. I despise Reddit. There are several of my tabs that are Reddit related, and being forced to navigate to Reddit is probably the most traumatic and misery inducing of this entire thing. Yes, Imager. Why don't you just try? Why don't you just start taking 10,000 years to properly load? No, that's Etsy. Ah, here it is. Finally. Finally, yes, that works. Okay, the studio mode off. Trish Chan. Fruit has the aesthetic that I like to refer to as the mistake. NGL, I've thought about making that mistake too. Her look screams, emo is not dead. Ninilove, it's a common reality, but the Catholic roots of most Latino countries does mean it is socially looked down upon. A lot of Latino countries are still fairly conservative on the surface. And is there a difference between a woman cheating on her husband or a husband cheating on a wife? Like, would there be a significant difference in the perception of those things, Nanny Love? Because I definitely enjoy doing cultural research. But yeah, here, let me just zoom in a tiny bit. This is a very famous page from a Roald Dahl novel. I would say that Roald Dahl was a great student of human philosophy and also human psychology. And it just reads here, it's talking about a character about ugliness. If a person has ugly thoughts, it begins to show on the face. And when that person has ugly thoughts every day, every week, every year, the face gets uglier and uglier until it gets so ugly you can hardly bear to look at it. A person who has good thoughts cannot ever be ugly. You can have a wonky nose and a crooked chin, a crooked mouth and a double chin, and stick out teeth. But if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely. Oh, I love this page. Hello, Shipmate F, by the way. Hello, Divo Leon. Yes, it describes feminists. Very much so. And I know many women like this. I know many women that are like 4'10" in the best light, but are just very attractive based on their personalities. Like it's a common like cope. I think that shallow people use that. Oh, she has a great personality, but she's ugly, as like a cope. But no, it's really is true. I would much rather be with somebody who was, well, maybe not ugly, but non-attractive, and had a good personality, rather than one of the nicest look. No, rather than a supermodel who was like a classic, nail painting bitch. I really love the nail painting emoji on Discord. Like, somebody explained to me what that's a reference to, and I'm just like, hell yeah, I love that. I really love the symbolism of that. We all get old and ugly, yeah. And, are you joking? Oh, a fly just flew in my mouth. Magdalena's Rex. Marx is this Roald Dahl book in spades. What a disgusting rat of a man. Yes. Marx was not a wonderful, lovely person. Al-Jeb, we're pre-gaming the woman-hating before we get to the real woman-hating. Oh, but, yeah, I thought it would be a nice balance from the woman-hating that we're going to get into, because there was, as I said, this Benjamin Franklin thing that just crossed my Twitter. Where is it? Yes. Rob Henderson, who is a wonderful person. Rob Henderson is someone I very strongly encourage everyone to follow on Twitter, because he is a fantastic student of psychology and a great somebody who shares an awful lot of insightful and interesting studies on the human condition, etc. and so on. But I found this one. I kind of did double take when I saw this. And he says here, Benjamin Franklin wrote, having a mistress in her mid to late 30s is just as good as having a younger one, because as long as you cover the top half of her body with a basket, her aged genitals are indistinguishable. He also liked the old mistress would be so grateful. And, hello, Dicato. And I found this hilarious because I actually went and I read into this a bit more, because I was just like, what's the context to this? And the nice thing about Rob Henderson tweets is that there are a decent number of interesting people that follow Rob Henderson and like to post extra context in his comments as well. Hag love before electricity. Hello, that guy there, by the way. But I actually went and looked into what the context of this is, and it's really kind of interesting. It's very interesting that this is a quote. Well, it's a partial quote, because this is a quote from a book that itself quotes the original source, so it's like 2 degrees removed. But somebody did provide the original source. And this is from a letter that Benjamin Franklin wrote to a sexually frustrated single man who was, as far as I can tell, considering losing his virginity to somebody before the marriage bed. And I did find this a very interesting article. So this is, let me just move my OBS profile over there. There we go. Hello, what did I miss? You haven't missed very much because I only just started. But yes, this is Benjamin Franklin, advice to a young man on the choice of a mistress. I'm going to read this in full because I really adore the style of writing that the founding fathers had. Like, the way they write, the style of the English language, they're just so beautifully written letters. The Andrew Tate of olden times. So this is dated June 25th, 1745. My dear friend, I know of no medicine fit to diminish the violent natural inclinations you mention, and if I did, I think I should not communicate it to you. Marriage is the proper remedy. It is the most natural state of man, and therefore the state in which you are most likely to find solid happiness. Your reasons against entering it at present appear to me not well founded. The circumstantial advantages you have in view by postponing it are not only uncertain, but they are small in comparison with that of the thing itself, the being married and settled. It is the man and woman united that make the complete human being. Separate, she wants his force of body and strength of reason, he her softness, sensibility, and acute discernment. Together, they are more likely to succeed in the world. A single man has not nearly the value he would have in that state of union. He is an incomplete animal. He resembles the odd half of a pair of scissors. If you get a prudent, healthy wife, your industry in your profession, with her good economy, will be a fortune sufficient. But if you will not take this counsel and persist in thinking a commerce with the sex inevitable, then I repeat my former advice, that in all your amours you should prefer old women to young ones. You call this a paradox, and demand my reasons. They are these. 1. Because, as they have more knowledge of the world, and their minds are better stored with observations, their conversation is more improving, and more lastingly agreeable. 2. Because, when women cease to be handsome, they study to be good. To maintain their influence over men, they supply the diminution of beauty by an augmentation of utility. They learn to do 1,000 services small and great, and are the most tender and useful of all friends when you are sick. Thus they continue amenable, and hence there is hardly such a thing to be found as an old woman who is not a good woman. 3. Because there is no hazard of children, which, irregularly produced, may be attended with much inconvenience. 4. Because, through more experience, they are more prudent and discreet in conducting an intrigue to prevent suspicion. The commerce with them is therefore safer with regard to your reputation, and, with regard to theirs, if the affair should be made known, considerate people might be more inclined to excuse an old woman who would kindly take care of a young man from his manners by her good counsels, and prevent his ruining his health and fortune among mercenary prostitutes. 5. This is my favorite one. Because, in every animal that walks upright, the deficiency of the fluids that fill the muscles appears first in the highest part. The face first grows lank and wrinkled, then the neck, then the breast and arms, the lower parts continuing to the last as plump as ever. So that covering all above with a basket, and regarding only what is below the griddle, it is impossible of 2 women to know an old from a young one. And, as in the dark all cats are grey, the pleasure of corporal enjoyment with an old woman is at least equal and frequently superior, every knack being by practice capable of improvement. 6. Because the sin is less, the debauching of a virgin may be her ruin, and make her for life unhappy. 7. Because the compunction is less, the having made a young girl miserable may give you frequent bitter reflections, none of which can attend the making an old woman happy. 8thly and lastly, they are so grateful. Thus, much for my paradox, but still I advise you to marry directly, being sincerely your affectionate friend. Ryan Alexander, the best argument for preferring MILFs/hacks. I really do enjoy reading stuff like this. Yeah, Dim the Lamp, he is so real for this, exactly. Now, I don't agree with cheating, and I don't agree with infidelity, quite obviously. However, Benny F., the original Hagusy hunter. So Benjamin Franklin was a hag kind of guy, yes. No, I don't agree with cheating, and I don't agree with infidelity, and I don't agree with the idea of sex before marriage, or at the very least, sex with a woman you don't intend to make a lifelong partner. But I have to respect this kind of argumentation. It's just kind of so factual, and just, I don't know, that there's a realness to this. It's like Dim the Lamp said, he is so real for this. I can't agree with it, but at the same time, I can't say that he's wrong in any way either. And I just find that entertaining to a degree. And there was let me just scroll up, because somebody, it's a private Discord, so I can't say who it is. But I posted this in there, and somebody was kind enough to write kind of a modern version of it. A modern version of this, which I think I will read as well, because it is quite funny. So let me just switch back to just chatting for a second, so you don't have to stare at the white screen. He wrote a version of this that is more up to the times. So I will, and he gave me permission to read it out loud as well, so I will do that. It reads, "Hey bestie, honestly there's no quick fix for those intense feelings you're having, and if I did know one, I wouldn't spill it. Getting hitched is the real solution. It's the ultimate vibe for humans, and it's where you're most likely to find true happiness. Those temporary perks you're eyeing are iffy at best, and don't compare with just being married and settled. Couples complete each other. A guy needs that girl's intuition and softness, while she benefits from his strength and reason. Together, they slay. A single dude just ain't the same. Kinda like a lone scissor. If you snag a smart, chill wife, your grind in life plus her skills could equal real success. But if you're going to ignore my wisdom and think you can hit it off without being all serious, then I'll say this again. Always go for older ladies over younger ones. You think I'm wild for saying that, but hear me out. 1. Older women have more life experience. They're more fun to chat with and help you grow. 2. Once they're past their prime, they level up their game to stay interesting. They become super helpful and are the best pals when you need care. So, they stay lovely. Almost all old ladies are good vibes. 3. No kids equals no drama, so you can stay chill. 4. Older peeps get more experience. They know how to keep it on the low key. You can chill with them without stressing about your rep. If it gets out, people might just think it's sweet that an older lady is looking out for a younger dude, helping him avoid the sketchy crowd and the whores. 5. For real, in animals, it's always the top that shows the age first. Face gets wrinkles, then neck, but the lower half stays cute. So if you cover the top, you can't tell the age difference. And honestly, when it's dark, it's all the same. Plus, older women have those mad skills that get better with practice. 6. Less guilt for sure. 7. Less guilt for you too, because making an older lady smile doesn't haunt you like ruining a young girl's life might. 8. They always appreciate it. So that's my hot take, but honestly, consider tying that knot soon. I'm just looking out for you. Peace out from my homie. Needs more Gen Z slang. Yeah, the first part reminds me of what Kirsche says all the time. Yeah, I will say that it is somebody who does hang out in Kirsche's chat an awful lot as well. Typhonator, if you managed to catch a Proctor stream, yeah, nice to see you here. Regal, yeah, Benjamin Franklin was a hag kind of guy. I think there was something else he was into as well. I just can't think of it. Zerstora, just say you have a hag fetish. I mean, I'm 33, so... Rouge, where's the bird? I got rid of the bird a long time ago. I mean, technically I am a bird, okay? Look at my avatar. My avatar is literally a bird. He's just a bird man. A man-bird, if you will. Not one of us. Ben Franklin always was one of the best. Yeah, I would really love to have had a conversation with Benjamin Franklin. If there's any group of people that I would very strongly encourage everybody to read up on and really try and understand, it would be the Founding Fathers. I haven't done all that much research on them myself, but every single thing that I do know about the Founding Fathers is just absolutely fascinating. I think collectively, they're one of the most interesting groups of people in human history. And I do think that the founding of the United States is probably one of the most impactful events in human history, and I think it's one of the most unique events too. Magdalena's Rex, frankly, I would prefer an older woman as long as they physically keep to themselves and don't go through weight gain or poor dieting. That's the main source of dysgenics at times. I mean, yeah, it's just, I think I mentioned this in Sesahime's chat recently as well, that it's very possible for a woman to keep their looks well into their middle or even late ages. I know women that have very good faces and very good skin and very good features that are like their 60s, their 70s, even their 80s. And it's very simple. All they do is make sure to moisturize every single day. If you ever talk to an older woman and you ask her, what's your skincare routine or whatever, I can almost guarantee you they will say the same thing. Moisturize every single day. Every single day. Never skip a day. Never make excuses. You don't have to buy like massively expensive creams or buy into every new hype cosmetic. Just use a basic but functional moisturizer on your screen, on your skin. Please don't moisturize your screen. It really does nothing for the picture quality. Just do it every day without fail, and you will keep your skin astonishingly well, even when you're very old. Shipmate Def, my mother is 53 and they think she's 35 because of the moisturizer since I was a kid. I approve. Yes, it is one of the tips that an awful lot of women refuse to listen to because they're like, oh no, I need the super high-tech stuff that costs like $70 a pot and everything. That they really buy into the idea of these expensive cosmetics. They don't work. Well, they do generally work, but the thing is, people have fads for them. They'll use one set and then it'll go out of stock or something. And then, they won't be consistent. They'll keep trying new routines that'll work for like maybe 6 weeks, but then it'll stop working or they won't get the results they want. And Justin T. Proctor here desperately trying to shill himself to Kirsche. I mean, I think Kirsche has been pretty open about not wearing makeup and things like that, and I have much more respect for her because of that. I don't like it when women wear massive amounts of makeup. Makeup should accentuate a woman. It should not try and cover her up. It's just like, there's a tab that next time I do a TVA and review, I will most definitely be covering some of the terrifying images that have been posted on the forum of VTubers who have posted their IRL selfies, and it's just like, my god, could you please you literally look like an alien from Mars. Please stop using all these filters, or in the case of not using filters, please stop applying makeup to yourself that looks like Homer Simpson fired it into your face via a shotgun. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Gigadramon 6, high doses of hyaluronic acid and vitamin E will do wonders. Haljeb, don't bully Sayu for being an XCOM extra. She's nice. Cecilia, makeup is so expensive too. I don't know how people afford to paint their face every day. Yeah, and the thing is that it's how you apply it. It's not how you... It's not the... For some reason, so many women think that buying $100 lipstick is somehow going to make the result look so much better than a $10 lipstick that has actually been applied by somebody who is semi-professional. It's like I'm going to mention my mother again, I'm sorry. Mother mentioned you can all reset the clock, but she's extremely good with makeup, and I've always looked at her and thought, that's somebody who knows how to deal with everything. And it just astonishes me how many other women are just completely incapable of replicating the very basic kind of skills that she has. It's not even that she needs hours and hours of practice or time to set herself up or anything. No, to 10 minutes in front of a mirror with lipstick and some, like, what do they call it, like foundation or whatever, she can make herself look amazing. But there are so many women that I know that can spend like 2 or 3 hours in front of a mirror and still not be done, and they walk out and they just don't at all look good. Magdalena's Rex, fasting brings a person into a state of autophagy, removing unhealthy cells and reducing inflammation. I imagine a woman who healthily fasts would look good. Anyone really? It prevents decrepitude. I agree, and it's like my mother as well. She regularly fasts, actually. So, and again, her skin looks amazing for somebody who is in her mid-70s. Her skin looks like somebody who is in her early 50s at most. Absolutely at the most. WTW, I like VTubers IRL photos with a layer of frosting on their face. Yeah, it's just... I would have so much more respect for so many VTubers who do the IRL stuff if they were just honest about how they looked. Taffinator, the old saying, less is more, has never been more apt. Yes, I completely agree. I think there's this horrible... I do blame men an awful lot for this. I think that men are far too ready to attack a woman for not being made up like a clown. You can't really win. If they make themselves up with so much heavy effects and everything, people will call them fake, but if they don't do that, other men will just call them ugly. So I do understand the pressure that women have to look perfect at all times, and how much not having a perfect photograph is kind of mentally devastating to a woman. Like, I respect that. I completely do understand it. In fact, I have a decent amount of respect for Sayu, because she's perfectly willing to post a selfie of herself with her face, which, again, I think it could have been a much better selfie, but she's not going around saying, oh no, I just had a bad hair day, or whatever, oh no, I'm very sorry, or, oh wow, I've got so much hate, I'm traumatized from the mean things people have said about my face. No. She seems to be pretty good at just posting it and being like, yeah, I am. I'm like this, and get over it. Muffy Graves, are you okay? You look tired. No, bitch, I'm not wearing makeup. Yes, I think that I'm willing to indulge myself in talking about these kinds of things, because I have a fairly good track record of the women in my chat agreeing with my takes. Biohazard Exa, nah, hang on, men didn't tell women to poison their face, women do that to other women. Yeah, they do, they definitely did. Helsheb, I think she actually called it a goblin mode selfie. Yes. And again, it really does also poison the discourse, because if a woman does take a photograph of herself where she genuinely does not look flattering, if you know that a woman looks good, but she takes a picture of herself that doesn't look as good as it could be, and she shares it, with all this nonsense that goes on around photographs, it's really hard to get that urge to say, look, girl, you don't look great, but I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm just saying that maybe this isn't one for the album. Like, it's very hard to say that in this current climate without coming across as really insensitive or rude or unpleasant. That guy there, it's the same with men almost killing themselves to impress a woman. Yeah, hormones kind of do a lot of negative things to you. Donuts, a lot of them genuinely are ugly, though unfortunately generations of access to makeup have led to dysgenic women. It's sad, and this is how the makeup industry became so huge. Muffy Graves, the thing that gets me is the natural makeup look, and men somehow think it's real. Dim the lamp like Sayu, she is cute even if you can play chess on her forehead. Yeah. I think also this is where the Roald Dahl stuff comes back in, is that if a woman is fairly humble, if a woman is also quite personable, and has a pleasant personality, then naturally men are going to be much more willing to be nice to her despite her physical imperfections, if she genuinely has some. Whereas a beautiful woman, who is a nasty person, is kind of playing defensive all the time. She has to be as perfect as she possibly can be at all times, because the instant she makes any kind of appearance where she is less than 1000% perfect, then people are going to feel no compunctions whatsoever about ragging on her. They're going to say, oh yeah, you look awful now. Oh, I knew she always was ugly. I knew she's disgusting. You know, this is dreadful. And they're not saying that because she has suddenly become not beautiful. They're saying it because the rest of her personality has left her in a position where all she has is her looks. And the moment those slip, the vultures will descend, and they will tear her to pieces. Taffinator, another VTuber that looks very pretty IRL, is Onigiri. I've seen a couple of photographs of her. She is very nice. That guy there, looks fade, personality stays hopefully the same. I think my personality matures, honestly, over time. It's just like, I'm 33 now. I find it very difficult to talk to younger people in general, because I'm just like, I have so much more life experience than you that we just do not connect properly. The Mad Matter, all photos should be edited, but not to distort reality, but to better represent reality. A camera can only do so much, and as such, you need to balance the colors and shadows to not look awful. Yeah, I've noticed that very much when I've been trying to take photographs of my plastic spoons that I've been painting as well for my model kits. It's very hard for the camera to pick up the subtleties in the shading effects and other things. And the colors often come out just looking odd. It's not representative of what it looks like in reality, and it irritates me. It really does irritate me, because I always want everything too. Lumi Angler, I forgot you were the same age as my boyfriend. I can't understand from your accent. Did you say 33 or 43? 33. 3-3. I am 30 years old and 3 years old, okay? Add those two numbers together, that is my age. Yeah, I am not 43. I am definitely not 43. 43, goodness me. I have no idea what my life will be like when I'm 43. I mean, I'm still waiting on this decision as to whether we get to keep our house or not, so yeah. Hopefully I'll know that in a week or two. 333, got it. I intend to live forever, I'll have you know. I intend to live forever. Barring that, I'd settle for a couple of 1,000 years. Even 500 would be pretty nice. I love Alpha Centauri so much. I'm older than you. Don't worry, Muffy Graves. As we have just discussed, hags are very much in demand. Actually, 3, same tribe as Pippa. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. I'm younger, yes. I think that the TVA age survey, let me actually just tab over and have a look at that. Where I put out a survey on TVA. Basically, they're taking TVA's age demographic, view results. Tab over, yeah. So, 18 to 21, we've got 4%. 21 to 30, the majority... no, actually, it's almost a perfect even split between 21 to 30-year-olds. So 117 people on my forum are between 21 and 30. But then we have 118 votes in the 31 to 40 category, which I, of course, I'm one of them. And then 40 to 50, surprisingly high. I know that Murray is in that age range. I have Justin T. I have a decade on you as well, Proctor. Good grief. Gigadramon 6. Some reductive colors literally can't be replicated properly on additive color screens. Tyrian purple, for example, literally cannot be displayed on CYMB monitors. That's interesting. That is quite interesting, because I've been doing some of the purples. I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. And I have been painting some different variations of purple, and I've noticed the purple is very difficult to get show up. I've got two spoons that are side by side. Both of them are different colors of purple. One is purple violet, the other is regular purple. Now, admittedly, there isn't a huge difference between the two. However, it's very distinctly visible to the naked eye. The camera cannot tell the difference. They are both the exact same shade of purple as far as the camera is concerned. And it's really bizarre to me, because I'm just like, why? It makes no sense to me. I can clearly tell, even through the viewfinder, I can see that it's different, but the result is just always the exact same color. It bothers me. It really gets to me. I don't like things like that. That's precisely what I thought it would be. Yeah, somebody asked me a while ago, why is TVA generally more mature than places like VT? And I'm like, because most of my users are far older than the people on VT, and God forbid the Sharties. Zerstoro, I wish camera became more advanced to differentiate between those colors. I get what you mean. Dim the lamp, it's like the settings in the camera itself. It's possible. WTW, I noticed that photos all needed to be edited and increased in their saturation, especially on outdoor shots. Last of the Mohicans, so Proctor has been spooning. Yes, I have been spooning very much. Hellship, lifehack, be colorblind. Color grading is gay, and you can't even see it. Cecilia, okay, now let's see the gender survey. I have not done a gender survey. A surprising number of females seem to watch my stream. I'm not really sure why. It's very strange to me. But, well, the number is higher than 0, which I consider surprising, okay? And I know a couple of people that catch... I know a couple of women that catch my videos on VODs, too, which I'm always incredibly appreciative of. Oh, sorry. It just kind of, Gigadramon 6, it just kind of ends up looking like a brownish red. Yeah, it's your voice. Is my voice really that attractive to women? That guy there, it was your old avatar with the shot. We are moving away from that, okay? We are moving away from that. No, we are not. We are not. It is manly men from now on, okay? Remember my tag on Discord. I am 97. I have taken the test. I have taken the test. The test confirms I am 97% testosterone, okay? 97% testosterone, Proctor Zakharov. That it is a hard fact. It is empirically factual that I am 97% testosterone, okay? Muffy Graves, probably because you have good takes that make us feel seen with our struggles and all, and yes, the voice. I mean, I suppose that's good. I have always... it's weird. I don't like listening to myself. I really don't like listening to my own voice playing back to me. British women love it. Men think it's a defect because it is. You have the stereotypical hot British accent. I mean, thank you. I suppose. Truly the most masculine man in the realm of Filipinos and women. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like the whole... In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It's not as if I have a great deal of competition in this space now, is there? Like, what other, you know, seething paragons of virility and masculinity are there in the VTuber space, okay? It's not like there's a great deal of... There's a great deal of choice. Emporian, women watching drama say it ain't so. Yeah, I kind of just automatically disregard it whenever I hear a female VTuber say, oh, I want nothing to do with drama. No, drama is weird and scary, and oh, I have no idea why anyone would want to be part of that. Like, there are some genuinely wholesome female VTubers who really don't have anything to do with drama and just don't focus on it ever, and those people are lovely. Those people really are lovely. However, on the other hand, I would say that 99% of VTubers in some way or other are just really like drama. The ones that say they don't just basically mean I don't want drama to happen to me, but I really love watching from the sidelines. Daniel Sierra, I don't like my voice. Every successful VTuber ever. Yeah, Muffy Graves, we love drama, just not when it includes us. Indeed. And I can understand that. Like, I would probably suddenly develop an aversion to drama if it ever started to directly involve me. I mean, I don't even particularly like focusing on drama myself. It's just that, well, there's tons of it in this space. There's certainly no shortage of it. Sorry, I was distracted by a bunch of pings. Gigadramon 6. Almost nobody wants to be part of the drama. Almost everyone thinks it's fun to watch. It's like a soap opera, I admit it. Absolutely. Dim the lamp while even Pippa watches False. Yep, she does. Last of the Mohicans. If they have to say they don't want to be involved in drama, then it's probably a lie. The actual people who hate drama just don't say it publicly very often. And yes, I know the irony of me saying that. Yes, I know. I mean, I'm just like... I don't get involved in drama because I have massive interest in it. It's just like, I have a life. It doesn't really bother me if a bunch of seething V-tweeters are saying mean things on Twitter, because I can just go outside and I can garden. I can just start pulling weeds. It doesn't matter to me. I can just start building model kits. I can just go and... Actually, goddamn, I've just realized I need to actually complete something after this stream. I need to finish writing a script, actually. The Mad Hatter, I don't like drama. Person afraid they're not good to other people. Yes, if you're... Well, no, I won't say that. If you are a good person, then people will still lie about you. People will still try to antagonize you, and people will still try and spread untruths about you. However, if you are genuinely a good person and don't have anything tangible against you, then the people that actually care about you will come to your support and they will take your side. It's why people like Kirsche has a massive amount of drama. Well, I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube, but drama friends who have gone after her for various reasons, and yet she still is very successful because ultimately she's never really done anything nasty to other people. She's never been mean, she's never been aggressive, she's never really started anything. And so she gets a lot of respect from the people that can see through it and go, yeah, this is all nonsense and cloud chasing. Tefinator, VTweeters are some of the most desperate cloud chasers I have seen. Drama fans would be better, but okay. Vale, I never insert myself into the situations, I just like being the knower of things. Yes, I mean, I am incredibly fortunate in that I am a busybody. There's no doubt about it. I like to know things. I want to know all of the things. Like, if I had the ability to just look into everybody's, like, private Discords or Twitter DMs or whatever, I'll be honest, I'd probably do it. I very much like to know what people are talking about. I like to know the truth about things. I like to know the secret knowledge. But at the same time, I like it for the sake of liking it. I don't intend to do it to look at it and go, oh, this can benefit me. This can boost my career. I can turn this into something that'll get me thousands of views on YouTube. No, I don't care about that. Shipmate F, the curse of curiosity. Yes, I am an extremely curious person. I mean, I used to be a historian, or at least very involved in a historical community. I want to know the details of everything. I want all the first-hand sources. I want the receipts. The Mad Hatter, curiosity is what keeps me coming back to TVA. I just like hearing a good story. Yes, exactly. Donuts, the popular VTubers are overwhelmingly left-leaning, so Kirsche terrifies them. Yep. I mean, we're seeing that happen in media right now. There is a tremendous backlash against the left-leaning establishment, and Limmy Angler, here is my forbidden knowledge. Proctor looks like a hedgehog. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a better image that's not a literal AI-generated thing that I just stuffed through and, like, a background remover. Like, that's literally what this avatar is, but it's pretty nice. I actually quite like the style of it. But I do have, like, a PNG board and everything that at some point I will get somebody to draw something for me, but I just can't focus on that right now. Like, the visual side of things has never interested me nearly enough as just the audio side of things. I very rarely watch VTubers, as in look at the screen at what they are doing. I almost always listen to VTubers. There are some exceptions, like there are some models that I find extremely nice. I really like some models, like Hills VT recently showed her new model on Twitter, and my goodness, oh my goodness, that is a kitsune. That is a kitsune. Yes. Gura looked like a dinner plate to 4 million subs. Last of the Mohicans, we call that second monitor Proctor. That guy there, Tails. Yes, Tails. Magdalena's Rex, I assume most of the Hollow Girls are left-leaning, but are more like older 2000s liberals who don't get their panties in a twist over edgy words. They just keep it clean because Hololive rules. Yeah, I mean, I'll just divert into this for a second or two. There's a Mantis Wave on YouTube. I quite like his content because he's a decently well-read libertarian, and he released a video recently that was going over, like, Donald Trump's policy announcements and comparing it to reality. And he was saying, there's nothing that Donald Trump, aka Hitler and Stalin and Satan combined, according to the left media, there's nothing that he is declaring that is in any way different from, like, a 90s Republican. The only way that Donald Trump is right-wing is that he has generic milquetoast 90s Republican attitudes in 2024. He's not extremist, he's not a fascist, there's nothing in any of these actual documents that say anything besides that. It's just that he has the sensibilities that are of his time, that have slowly, because of the Overton window, become extremist in the eyes of the establishment. That's it. Does Proctor like my model? Update coming soon. Give me validation. Your model's pretty decent. I do think that again, you've got the rather amusing PNG with the drinking one, where yes, the detail of the skirt. I think many people have commented on that. The Mad Hatter. It's so telling that 20 to 30 years ago, Trump was a Democrat. I know. But yeah, that was in relation to what people said about what Magdalena's Rex said about Hollow Girls. Gigadramon6, Mantis Wave's video on gun rights is spectacular. He points out a few of the ways that the gun control industry lies to people to convince them to support restrictions of gun rights. Yeah, I quite like him. He's one of the few, I would say, right-wing kind of people who is focused very heavily on facts as opposed to whatever nonsense. 'Cause again, I am not political. I am not political because both sides are just so insane right now in every way. I just don't care. I'm interested in political theory for how it relates to people, not what is currently going on. That guy there is the picture of the lefty running away and make the former liberal right-wing comparison. Yep, I've seen that picture. Culture war. I hate the culture war, guys. I really do. The kingism, he isn't entirely delusional like some libertarians can be. Yes, I quite agree. Libertarians are an interesting bunch of people. I would probably be a libertarian myself if I was seriously political, but because I have just developed a hatred for government of any sorts. Magdalena's Rex, the Democrats have fully enslaved women to abortion rights. It's insane. Women would be fine being drafted, forced facts, being slaves, etc. Just they can say killing babies is bodily autonomy. VShojo as company will not exist soon. I mean, is that just speculation, or is it actually... Is there actually something that I'm not aware of? I don't think that VShojo is going to go away anytime soon. The Froot... To go back to what this stream is actually about, Froot is a stupid woman, but I don't think she's going to destroy VShojo. I really don't. VShojo is a pretty established brand. I see no reason they've got... How many talents do they have? Like 9, 10, etc.? But they haven't... They've got a very consistent success rate in all of their talents. And Froot is just the outlier. As Biohazard Nexus says, bruh, VShojo is not dying over Froot. The Mad Matter Gunrun has too many connections for this to do them in. I do agree, completely. Magdalena's Rex, just throw away Froot and VShojo can be fine. It can suffer Zen, but it can't Froot. She is a brand cancer at this point. I agree. That's the thing, I don't understand why Froot is still in VShojo, because VShojo has just... Well, I mean, we're going to get into it. Let me just go back to just chatting to rediscover all of my tabs. I do apologize for the slight scuff. We will be looking through the document as well, because I'm not going to look through all of it, but there's some things that immediately stood out to me as kind of insane. Guardian of the Rune, fact-based information and reporting is desperately lacking in the right. WTW, even Froot does well, 1800 CCV is good. Yep, Froot is a shackle on their feet. I do agree with that as well. I just see no practical reason why Froot would stay in VShojo. If I was VShojo's management... VShojo has always struck me as a company that is run by weird people who don't really have much skill, aside from being able to gain and hold on to pretty good talents. The Mad Matter, too many of the girls like Froot, sadly. She's nice to them, so they don't see anything wrong with her, like Kason said. Kirsha has better CCV, Lamau, I agree. Mantine, I like how Kason has to delete her tweet, but Froot can still fan the flames. Yeah, we'll be getting into that. But yeah, let me just tabulate and organize my stuff for a second, because I've got all this in tabs. Let me just make sure if I can actually find the damn thing. Oh god. Just give me 1 second as well. I've got a Twitter message that I will just get to look at to clear off my screen. Sorry, 1 second. Please give me a moment. Please go away. I really hate how it's so easy to accidentally bring up Discord, not Discord, but like Twitter messages when you're browsing Twitter. It really annoys me. Can I actually make that go away in any way? No, I can't. That's very irritating. Okay. Come on, where the hell is it? fruit stuff. Yeah, I think it's worth going back to basics on why all this has kind of happened, because there's a lot of different takes and arguments as to why Froot brought this out. Processing, 50% out of 100. Froot can play the backstabbing bitch very well, unfortunately. Real men tabulate, yes. How much CCV does Kirsche have compared to Froot the Witch? That is where we can start, because I looked at Froot's Twitch statistics, when all of this began, and I found it very interesting. One of the first tweets that I made about the whole Froot situation was the fact that in January of 2024, Froot had an average CCV of about 2,800. At this point in time, according to the Twitch tracker statistics, Froot's CCV is 1,800. So in the course of about a year or so, Froot has lost an average of 1,000 CCV. So yeah. Kirsche at max, I remember about 8,000 at one point. I think it was about 4,000 or 5,000 combined. D sufferers dying, even a Nietzsche talent can't reach that. Yeah, now they definitely can't. Zerstora, that's a great number for an indie, so good on Kirsche for it. Yes. Our fox who stonks are going up, and I intend to be there, and I am going to diamond hands my fox who stonks, and trust me. Daniel Sierra, that's nothing for a big corpo streamer. Yeah, but as Azahara said, Kirsche gets 3,000 to 3,500 to 4,000 now. But remember, Kirsche is a literal who. Nobody knows who Kirsche is. Nobody knows who Kirsche is, and she should definitely stay that way. Anyway, I've got my tabs now. A lot of people were commenting on why Froot dropped this document now, because the reasons for it were very strange. And as I said, I find it very interesting that her CCV has almost halved in the last year. And Froot is definitely the kind of person to manufacture drama for attention. And first of all, we have this. This is another tweet that I put out, but in terms of explaining the situation, it's pretty informative. My forum again weighs in on why Froot has suddenly gone the way she has. The immense hilarious irony of an Indonesian completely mogging a British woman this way is not lost on me. Take that, colonialists. Not even a year, 9 months, well 10. There is no better armor than literal Who armor, I agree. Gigdramon 6, Kirsche just started popping off in the last couple of months. It wasn't even that long ago when she was getting 1k, let alone 2k. Kirsche being able to do live coverage of the Trump assassination gave her like 1,000 CCV overnight. So, let me just open that in a new tab. Yeah, this was Super Duper Samurai who comments a lot on TVA, is a very good source of information. I would like to just give a shout out to Super Duper Samurai. His posts very regularly appear on my streams. Where he says, I like the rat someone pointed out a couple of pages back that she did it for engagement. And as Super Duper Samurai says, she had a countdown to her race queen outfit that had lower Twitter engagement than Mika/Michi's similar countdown posts. The official VSJ account for her event merch had around 1.6k likes. She dropped the document just 4 days after that event and outfit reveal. Outside of Coomer artists, Michi's outfit mogged hers in various metrics. And as you can see here, this is... Where was this posted? That was 6... But this was posted like 2 or 3 days ago. So these numbers are going to be a bit higher by now. This is Froot's new model reveal. 19,000 views after a week. Michi's outfit reveal, 22,000 views in 11 hours. Guardian of the Rune, Froot, my channel is dying. Time to rally the feminists and simps. Yes. And also, her outfit is very mid. That is a very mid outfit. Even the colors don't really work for it. I'm sorry. It's very boring. So I can understand why nobody really cares about this. Azahara-chan also getting attention from side-scrollers, which is a different audience. Yep. Muffy Graves, stay safe. YT started doing more right-wing political streams than his normal WoW streams, and even after being cancelled, his CCV went up. People are sick of the left being everywhere. I agree. D Suffers, that outfit is 100% bannable on Twitch. You mean Froot's outfit? It's honestly, from my perspective, it's fairly mid. There's nothing. This isn't even a particularly arousing outfit. Like I could talk to a woman in this outfit, and I wouldn't really feel. I wouldn't feel. He wouldn't really get my jollies going. Fruits, yeah. Someone you wouldn't even know it's supposed to be a race queen. It's just too coom. Gigadramon 6, the underboob is against Twitch TOS. Underboob is against Twitch TOS. Yeah. I made a note of it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. The whole underboob thing, I've never really understood. What is exactly different about the underside of a breast as opposed to any other side of it? Taffinator, Fruit's outfit just seems very tailored for the Coomers and looks awful for it. Yeah, it's the kind of outfit that fan artists take off, as opposed to... As a horror chat, I made a better race queen redesign using an AI. Magdalena's Rex, lewd outfits are bleh. Just give a midriff and it's 10 out of 10 sex stuff with this shit. Also, side boob is hotter. Magdalena's Rex, are you Grums? Are you Grums? Are you Grums' alt account in my chat? Because isn't Grums like being cancelled for being a massive like midriff fan at the moment on Twitter or whatever? That they're calling him a pedophile because he likes midriffs. He likes anime women with bare midriffs or whatever. And yes, Twitch is extremely arbitrary with their rules. Give me 1 second, guys, because I've got my cider, and I found that actually my cider is a lot better for my throat. So give me just 1 moment, and I will pour myself some. Here we are. Now to open this without getting it all over my monitor, because I don't have an actual bottle. Actually, I do have an actual bottle opener. Give me 1 second. I have always prepared with my Swiss Army knife that is literally older than myself by several years. Let me see if I can even remember how to open this. Here we go. 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 That's it. Apple cider. This is strawberry and lime cider. Cider. I do like cider. Cider is my go-to casual drink. Drinking on stream again, we ruined him. I mean, this is, how much is it? Yeah, 4%. And this is a 500 milliliter bottle of 4%. So I'm not going to be getting drunk off this, and it's the only bottle that I have. So yeah, I'm not going to be drunk off this. Dim the lamp. I have a 20-year-old Leatherman. Very nice. Taffinator with Grums, isn't it a funny meme war he started a year ago about midriffs and the normies freak out? Yeah, a lot of people hate Grums. However, I feel that after being a massive public figure for years, and basically the only thing that people can cancel him from is, oh, he runs a game studio that doesn't produce anything, and also he likes anime midriffs. Yeah, I somehow still don't see him as, like, Satan incarnate, thank you very much. I don't have massive opinions of him. Aggressive navel. I'd recommend something stronger considering this drama is mind-numbingly dumb. I think that there are some funny elements of it, some very funny elements of it. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice cider. Gigadramon 6, I love cider, but I'm basically a teetotaler because of medication. Yeah, I know. I'm technically not supposed to drink either because my ADHD medication is an SSNRI, but I mean, I sincerely doubt that 1 bottle of 4% cider is going to kill me. I'm probably not going to become any more psychotic than I already am from having this drink. It's actually very nice. I'll buy this bottle again. Oh, it's very good. This is the first time I've actually tried this cider. Proctor doing the orgasm pleasure noise as he drinks to get the female demographic up. Grums can be annoying if you visit his Twitter, but woke is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'd much rather... I've said this to other people, like, as much as you don't like Grums, he's not going to strike your channel for having a disagreement with him. Like, people have said horrible things to him, and all he's done is said, I don't deserve this harassment. Whereas he has said far milder things to other people, and they have tried to destroy his entire livelihood. Like, I don't care if you don't like Grums. I am going to support Grums simply because I know that if Grums was magically allowed to control all of media, he wouldn't censor and cancel people for saying that he was a bad game designer, okay? That I trust him with that much, whereas every single person who was against him would do so in a heartbeat if they had the same level of power. Most medications that say don't drink just mean you shouldn't drink a lot. If mixing alcohol with a medication at all had massive side effects, they'd overtly tell you not to drink at all, yeah. I do agree. I've known alcoholics who have mixed alcohol with painkillers for years and years and years. It's messed them up, but they have survived the experience. Anywho, let's move on with this. I loved this one. This reaction. The Mexican glitch. Froot. 8 years have passed. VShojo hasn't been in drama for a while. Idea. Hey guys, remember that time I cheated on my husband? Love this. I really love these character designs. They're so cute. Gidramon 6, it's specifically acetaminophen that you can't mix with alcohol at all. It kills your liver. Yep, a lot of stuff kills your liver, unfortunately. Lumi, so Proctor, if I sent you definitely legal moonshine, you just fall over. I have a very low tolerance for alcohol. I mean, not as in, I'm not a natural lightweight, but I just drink so little and so infrequently that two glasses of stuff is pretty enough to get me pretty tipsy. And I'm okay with that. I prefer that. It just means that I spend a lot less on alcohol. I'd rather not have a high tolerance because it means like 2 glasses and I'm where I want to be, as opposed to having to drink like multiple bottles. Well, not bottles, but, you know, shots, etc. And D suffers, hey guys, remember the time an alleged abuser ruined me life? Yes, we'll get into that because I have not read this document, but I did skim it briefly. And almost instantaneously, a whole bunch of insane stuff just popped out on me. Kiwi Noir, funny you say that. The guy who made these characters is a massive lolcow. Every artist who makes something like this is very lolcowish. You don't become a cartoonist like this without being a lolcow. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. Oh, hello, Revine Millith. Hello, Empraise. Lovely to see you in my chat. I do find it odd that she just suddenly posted something that would have been better off just not being addressed. I know. I genuinely do think that she did it entirely for engagement, which is extremely entertaining to me because it really didn't work out. In fact, let me just go back to the goddamn thing as well. Last of the Mohicans, don't answer this out loud on stream. Don't worry, I won't. My goodness, I really thought that I had a link directly to that stupid Froot, the original tweet. She has me blocked on Twitter, by the way, which I find quite entertaining, but... yeah. Where is it? Good grief. That is so annoying. Does it seriously not... Are you for God's sake, I'm sorry guys. There's too much scuff. There's just too much scuff for me. I apologize. I'm failing you live right now. There we go. Then we just go back to the thing. 5,000. Here we are. Okay, finally. So let me just go to this. She has me blocked, but fortunately Elon has made it so that means that I can actually see her damn tweets. Well, not see her tweets, but see the thing. So I asked somebody in the Discord to look at the number of likes that her tweet had gotten. Her tweet is currently sitting at 35,000 upvotes on the Twitters. Fruit blocking, color me surprised. And this is the top reply. Dijint. I cheated on my husband who was on military deployment. Now, let me tell you how I'm actually a victim. 88,000 likes. Blue Psycho gets caught cheating. He was abusing me. 31,000 likes. Plain friend. Did you cheat on him though? 50,000 likes. Brian Stevens. You are what's wrong with the world. 31,000 likes. And I'll just post this tweet in chat so you can check yourself. You can check yourself to make sure that I'm not lying. Because again, I encourage people to look this kind of stuff up for themselves. And then Buff Pup. You're so strong, Fruit. I'm sorry you had to revive past trauma. 3,100 likes. Yuzu. VTuber. Is this person anybody? 154k followers. I can't even imagine all the pain and the trauma you've been through, but I'm so glad you were able to push through all of it. Big love, Miss Fruit. 2,700 likes. Hades Mythos. I've known about you for a really long time, and only recently get the honor to say I know you to a degree. But you are one of the most amazing people I've had the pleasure to speak to and meet, Fruit. I cannot begin to imagine the feelings and heartache and pain you've endured. But I am so incredibly proud of you for not letting it all stop you from turning things around and becoming happier. I want nothing more than to continue seeing you smile along with everyone else I care for, whether they be friends or acquaintances. Please continue to stay strong and keep your chin up, because your existence means the world to many, including me, heart emoji, sending tons of love your way. 1,800 likes. Isn't Hades the girl who said she was roofied at TwitchCon? Is it Hades who used to be Hilo or not? I forget which one of the Mythos girls is Hilo. This is hilarious with your voice even more. I'm very glad that people enjoy it. This is why I do not like Hilo at all. Is Buff Pup a leftist? Buff Pup is a furry, so ask that question again. I love this as well. Even in her replies, Salty, cheat on your husband who's on deployment. Slay Queen! Nail polish, nail polish, nail polish, nail polish. I adore the nail polish emoji. Federal Agent Furukawa. Cheat on your husband, and then make up 1,000 page-long nonsense to try and paint yourself as a victim. You go, girl! Then somebody's accusing her of using ChatGPT. Stop glazing this shit. Cocklord Simpleton combo GG. My god, glazing machines look up to you. Shut up, fat ass. Get a vasectomy. This is the reason you'll lack a new job. You won't be missed. You support cheating. You can't seriously be this dumb. This guy's in his bed dreaming of her. Meanwhile, she's getting doggied by another man. The classic loser move, man. Go outside, please. You need it. The fact that these are her supporters is hilarious. Stop getting touchy with people. Oh yes, I'm incredibly sorry to everyone who I made uncomfortable during this trip. I don't recognize boundaries a lot of times. I do not recognize boundaries a lot of times, so I apologize heavily if I was acting too familiar with people. Yeah, because Hilo apparently got drunk and started groping people at TwitchCon. That's the reason for that. So she's getting called out quite a lot at the moment. Michi, I'm so proud of you. You're one of the strongest and kindest people I know. 6.1k. Quinn, this is the blackest white man in the universe, by the way. 3.4k. Sayu VTuber, wow, Fruit, we love you. You're awesome, and I'm glad you're still here. You're strong, and you are enough. 1.5k likes. George Alexopoulos, that's a Greek name. And I love this guy. Like he does a lot of great insane progressive artwork, which I really enjoy. And he actually weighs in on this. I didn't notice this until recently. Hilo groping you gotta be like getting rolled over by a Katamari. John Doe, didn't Fruit cheat on her husband? You're late to the party, aren't you? Hello, Stray Wolf. Nice to see you. Azihara-chan, damn, not even the really big VTubers from Twitch are getting as much traction. No, they're not. That's astonishing. Yeah, George Alexopoulos, sounds like sharing pieces of yourself was the problem. 13,000 likes. And then Iron Mouse, I am so incredibly proud of you, sending you 1,000,000 hugs. Even Iron Mouse, look, 635,000 likes. 35,000 views. So this tweet from Iron Mouse got viewed more than 500,000 times. And of those 500,000 people, only 9,000 people put a like on this from a tweet from Iron Mouse. Amalie, much love to you, Froot. 498,000 views, 2.7k likes. Sarai, 557,000 views, 4.3k likes. Project Melody, nearly 1,000,000 views, 7.3k, more views and less likes than Iron Mouse, and I guarantee you, the only reason that Iron Mouse is getting this much likes is that Iron Mouse is like the most super nice and lovely and supportive person in the entire universe, and people are just kind of going on fact, and going on good faith that Iron Mouse is being supportive to a sincere person. The Kiwi Noir and people... Sorry, that moved off my screen. And people wonder why the Western VTubing space is so disliked. Man, these people are all super fake. I will say, I do understand why other people in the company are being supportive of her unconditionally. I would say even if people knew what Froot was like and wanted to say something bad about her in public, I would say no. Don't do that. That's not good for the brand. That's not good for the company. It's understandable to me why the people inside of VShojo are being like, yeah, say Slay Queen, because you don't destroy people in your own company. You kick them out, maybe, but I don't agree with it, but I do understand. That's the kind of point that I'm trying to make. I can understand from an optics procedure, and it's not something that I would be extremely angry about. I know why this is familiar. She did the thing. Women will cheat in a relationship and then post, she was a bird. He wanted to cage her. I actually have not read this one before. That's a really good one. I like that a lot. Yeah, Brother Grimdalis being the true hero that he is. And what's this guy? I've never seen this guy before. Not very much. Not really much for the place. Reading the replies. I need to hurry up and find another guy. And here we have Belo Uwu. Very much the kind of soy man that I expect. She was caged in an abusive relationship with a man who wanted to control her. Try being in her shoes. She just wanted a real relationship with someone who actually cared about her. Instead, she gets stuck with a meanie. I feel bad for her. Ree! Yes, there is an awful lot of reeing in these comments, and we will get on to those, actually. In fact, I think that now is the time to move on to the document itself, because there, as I said, there's a lot of insanity in this document. I'm not going to read through the entire thing. I'm just going to go through until I hit a dead patch where I don't care to read any further. I do apologize for the light mode. That's the loser who is in every mean comment crying like a bitch. Shank Saotome. That's a nice name, by the way. Not wanting your wife to cheat on you equals abuse, chat. These people are all monsters. The light! Yes, I'm sorry, the light will burn away your eyes. I do sincerely apologize. My CCV is now going to drop by like 30 because I turned on something with light mode. Are you sure this is a man? A woman probably wrote that. There are far too many men. Have you ever seen like the bicycle meme? The bicycle meme about the guy who gets his bicycle stolen and then says, oh, it's a good thing because, you know, the person who stole it probably cares about it more than I do about it being lost. So, like, it's ultimately a good thing and happiness has been generated. I think my most famous edits of that is the cuck meme, where it's like the guy gets cucked and then says, well, the bike cuck comment. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the best ones. The tragedy is, there's a lot of men like that. There's an awful lot of men like that who genuinely feel as if that's the right way things should go. And it's... Whereas, I'm sorry, if I ever get cucked, yeah, my religious pacifism is going to temporarily take a backseat. Muffy Graves, you need to let us goblins live in our dark and comfy places. There's been the recent Cats in Ohio version. Magdalenus Rex, I somewhat esoterically can understand insane Nico fam in deluded denial that their Oshi is an insane whore, but Froot stands are so pathetic it makes Nico fam look like Chans. I know. Someone, there is no bottom point certain men can reach so long as a woman is involved, sadly. I do agree. What bad pussy does to an MF. Sorry, just give me 1 second while I look at my Discord again, because I'm getting like 1,000 messages on it. Da-dee-dum. Give me 1 moment. No, stop scrolling. Yeah, Last of the Mohicans, who just sent me something in a DM. I know exactly what you mean. Gigadramon 6, even Shen doesn't stand by the comic, and he even wrote it as a pretty explicit cope. That's really sad. That's the trouble. So many of those comics have been written by people who weren't kidding. It's like the whole Class of '09 thing, where a whole ton of people were like, Class of '09 is this incredible satire. It so perfectly lampoons all the absurd and insane things that, was just such a trope and a thing in like the Class of '09 universe that was taken seriously at one point. And then the author of Class of '09 has come out and said, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Class of '09 is a documentary. Class of '09 is a completely serious deconstruction of the horrible racist situation that people like me grew up in. Like Nicole is the best character. She is the most empowered woman. She is the hero, the undisputed hero of Class of '09. You just don't get it. The whole story of Class of '09 is Nicole grasping her femininity and realizing what a dreadful situation she lives in and making her own way in this awful world. Everyone's reaction, oh, you were being serious? I haven't actually played Class of '09, but I have watched Kirsche stream it, and is Kirsche's, sorry, the alcohol is hitting me a tiny bit. Is Kirsche's streams of Class of '09 still up somewhere? I forget if she started, if that was before she started getting a dedicated archiver. Bender laughs harder.mp4. Class of '09 is the start. That's a brilliant comment. I love that. Let me just pin that. I hope that somebody like Kirsche sees that, because that's a fantastic comparison, Daniel Sierra. I love that. You get a pin for that, most definitely. The Kiwi Noir. It takes a giga genius to write a satire by complete accident while being totally serious. Arclight, I thought you were a Kirsche superfan. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, I have a life. I can't... Kirsche streams how many times a week? Like, 4 times every week, and her streams are a minimum of 5 hours long, so she produces like 25 hours of content every single week. I don't have enough hours in the day to watch every piece of Kirsche content, okay? Including her massive backlog of thousands and thousands of hours of streams. Right? I have a garden to tend to, I have TVA to run, I have the small, tiny detail that I might lose my house in a few weeks to deal with as well. Fake fan, I'm so sorry, I will never recover from this. Yeah, the gods are up. Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, sometimes Thursdays. VODs, I just saw them. Good, thank you. I will definitely rewatch those. Oh yeah, because your house is a barn. Yeah, I might stream about that again at some point in the next week or two, because I'm waiting on the housing tribunal to make a verdict. I'm not going to get into it now, because I've been staring at this document for like 10 minutes without actually reading it. Okay. All evidential screenshots were taken using Facebook's archive feature. You must read from the bottom up per screenshot. I'm not rearranging individual messages for the sake of reading convenience. All I will do is remove personal information, which is the mark of a lazy document, okay? You have to make this information as easily digestible as possible. Nobody is going to goddamn care. This is, like the last time I streamed, I was talking about Akuma Miko. Akuma Miko's document on Sunwitch TV, where Akuma Miko repeatedly copies the same screenshot into the document multiple times. And it's just so lazy. Nobody is going to take you seriously. You devalue your own argument by being lazy. You should always give a document like this as much effort and detail as possible. You can't get away with half-arsing it. Gigatron 6, you can listen to her live or a VOD while you're doing something else. That's what I often do. But again, there's just a massive amount of stuff that I have to deal with every single day. It's a historical record. Yes, you have a duty to make good call-out documents, guys. It's not that difficult. Let me just pour myself some more cider. There we go. Just refill my glass. This is very nice cider. And we'd have a nice little sippy. Damn, it's she herself who knows this document was a lazy hit piece. Yeah, and I also think that it's worth commenting. It's entirely possible that if the timeline of her being upset that Michi got far more attention than she did with her new outfit reveal, then that gave her 5 days to put together this document. In fact, details. Created on the 18th of September... Oh my goodness, created. So assuming that she created this document and then added stuff to it, because I can't see the timeline of edits to this document, obviously, because I'm not a contributor to it. But if she created the document on the 18th of September, then yeah, that actually lines up. Does anybody know when Michi did that reveal stream and when that merch thing did? Because I don't know exactly myself. I know it was in like the last week or so, but I don't know if this was on the 18th of September. But if this is true, then that means that the moment Froot realized that other people in VShojo were getting far more attention than her, she immediately began compiling this document to dump less than a week later. Guardian of the Rune, it's always interesting to see how the two sides can view the same media and like it for opposite reasons. Yep, it is fascinating. It's why I simultaneously believe very strongly in death of the author, but also think that death of the author is a terrible trope that is abused far too often by disingenuous hacks. This is a message to myself and a constant reminder of how strong I've become in the past half-decade. I hope by showing others what I've been able to overcome can help people who are or have been in a similar situation. I've pushed this off for a very long time because it has always been an extremely difficult topic for me to uncover. I have been healing for a very long time. When I was 19, I was abused by my then partner. So right away, in the first sentence of this actual document, this is a message to myself and a constant reminder of how strong I've become in the past half-decade. This is pathetic. I have read many Google documents about much worse stuff than this. Not once in any of those sincere Google documents have any of the people who have been victims said, I made this document to remind myself of how strong I have become. Are you joking? This is so narcissistic already. Within one paragraph, the narcissism just oozes off the page. So this doc is just Class of 09, but instead of Nicole, it's Froot. I love how Class of 09 plays into this. Very performative. Kitey Bugs, is that you? I'm afraid the Kiwi Noir that I don't know who Kitey Bugs is. I'm strong creates a 90-page document to glaze herself. How did I end up being stuck in an abusive relationship? Abusers don't start out the door with their behavior. They pretend to care about you and act like a good person so you don't leave. They start feeding you their abuse bit by bit until you're completely destroyed and unable to leave, locked in and nowhere else to go. They use emotional blackmail to manipulate you, to eventually fully depend on them and make you believe you can't do or be anything without them. They make you feel incapable of being a functional human being, and you will believe them. Once you're in this stage, the entire relationship becomes complete control over every aspect of your life. Who you talk to, who your friends are, what you wear, how you look, how you talk, your opinions, interests, and beliefs. Everyone. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it, Froot? Remind me, what was your reaction to Silvervale when Silvervale dared play Wizard Game bad? It's very interesting how you say here, once you're in this stage, the entire relationship becomes complete control over every aspect of your life. Who you talk to, who your friends are, what you game, what games you play. Yeah, how interesting. Your opinions, interests, and beliefs. I wonder how this could be applied to you, Froot. I really wonder. Crimson hair, honey, you are a VTuber. Chances are that you are not so much of a functional human being. Guardian of the Rune, what I took away from the document was Froot and her BF were too young to be together. Not that the guy was some Machiavellian abuser. Froot definitely has Machiavellian tendencies. I would completely agree with you. God damn it, Steam, you just jump scared me. He would constantly degrade, insult me, lie to me, etc. I tried to leave him on numerous occasions, but he kept threatening to commit suicide and blame it on me. He emotionally blackmailed me, manipulated, isolated, blah, blah, blah. Forced me to develop dependence. I didn't eat, I didn't wash. I wore the same set of pajamas for weeks. I didn't move out of my bed, and I lived around trash. He caused me to become depressed. I want to preface that I'm doing much better now. Is that your cat? What do you mean, is that my cat? Green is me, blue is him. The airport sexual assault incident. I was on my way to America to see him. Oh yes, this is another very important aspect of all this. A very large part of this so-called abuse occurred while they were separated, in that he was either in America or he was on deployment, I think in Afghanistan or Iraq. So they were not in physical proximity when a large amount of the abuse that he is talking about actually occurred. I had to stay in Sweden. I was unfortunately sexually assaulted by a stranger. I have no idea if Froot has ever talked about this before. If anyone who is more in touch with the Froot lore knows if she has ever discussed this incident before, please, if you could TLDR me on that, I'd really appreciate it. I was already uneasy about the fact that I saw so many other people sleeping there. Oh yeah, sorry. I had no choice but to choose a bench to sleep on at the airport. I was already uneasy, but the fact that I saw many other people sleeping there made me feel a little bit safer. While I was sleeping, I woke up to a stranger sexually assaulting me. I really... Yeah, as Ahara-chan said, I am willing to believe her since Sweden is now the grape capital of the world by the tan Germans. I am not going to say that she is lying about this, because as Ahara said, I am willing to give her the benefit of the doubt that this incident actually happened. However, I have been in airports before. Every airport that I have been a part of, if I have been further than 1 square foot from at least 3 other people at any point when I've been in the airport, something has gone wrong. I have slept in airports before, and always they have been incredibly crowded. And as Ahara said, there's a ton of security as well. I really cannot imagine how someone can be sexually assaulted at an airport. But SA is like, as Murphy Grave said, but sexual assault is like someone being in your bubble now. Yeah, I can definitely believe that she was maybe a tan German groped, like maybe some insane person walked up to her and tried to grab her breast or something. But maybe this is incredibly old-fashioned of me from being raised by a very old-fashioned woman. But yeah, I don't really even consider that to be sexual assault in the modern context. Because it's just so, yeah, it's unpleasant. It's very unpleasant. And I would agree that somebody who does that should be prosecuted, but so many people say, yeah, touching is now sexual assault before it used to be grape. And I know, it's like, I listened to my mother talk about how when she used to work at like a chain supermarket, men used to try and go for her all the time. They would try and put their hand up her skirt. They would try and, because she was an extremely beautiful woman, they tried to try things on with her all the time. And basically, her response was to either ignore it, or when a man did it, she would turn around and say to them something like, "You're not good enough for me anyway. Stop trying to think you have a chance." Or she said that other women would deal with it by wearing very long nails and returning the favor. That's how she said that women dealt with being groped and things like that when she was a young woman. And I think that more women should be better about it. Because most people who try and commit sexual assault are extremely weak and pathetic men. Muffy Graves, you just start being loud and they usually walk away in shame. Yes, and that works. Like, I know women who have done that and they said it works 100% of the time. Because a sexual assaulter is a very pathetic man. He is not going to be able to stand up to you if you stand up to him. Unless he literally breaks into your house and there is nobody around to help you or save you. He's probably going to be cowed very easily. I wish women would stop being so. It's not my place to say that they shouldn't be traumatized by an incident like that, but it is my place to say that you shouldn't allow it to dominate your mind in the way that it seems to for people all over the world. Unless you're Hilo, then Teehee Pro. So anyway, yeah, this is a weird incident. I just kind of don't really... Guardian of the Rune, the most believable part of the story, but did she report said Tan German for the safety of the pale Germans? Dim the lamp. Notice me, senpai. Where is the police report? Daniel Sierra, and then A2 comes in if they break in. Yep, 2A, sorry, 2A. Zerstora, women have it so good today they legitimately think touching them with a fingertip can make them pregnant. Mother mentioned timer reset. Who else said here? Yeah. When this was happening, the only person I talked to was my ex because, you know, at the time I had nobody to go to other than him since he isolated me away from my family. His response was not what I'd expect from someone in his position. I was 19 at the time and he just thought this was how hard life... I was 19 at the time and I just thought this is how hard life is and that I have to suck it up and deal with it, which is what he taught me and is why I thought nothing of his response. Okay, so let's actually read this. Alright, I'm not going to try and read out everything here. They're only very short messages. If somebody wants to, they can very easily read it while I'm scrolling. Can't find the Swedish Universal Plug. Okay. Oh, I see. What do? It's 3:40 and my train is at 12. I'm stuck at this airport. I don't want to ever see that guy again. I could have been raped. He started to follow me. I woke... oh my god, this is so annoying. I fell asleep on a soft couch that was in a quiet room in the airport, and I woke to a guy sexually touching me. He then started to follow me, so I ran straight for the women's toilets, which is where I am now. I'm really scared. They caught him. And so he says, oh fuck, unpleasant face. I know people take bad news in different ways, and in some cases an unhappy face is not awful, but he is usually vocal about his feelings. So here he is. How are you doing? That's good. Were you in a public area, babe? Were you in a public area, babe? I hate how all of these people talk. It's very irritating. Sorry, let me actually read up in chat. A lot of people... I'll read up in chat after I'm done with this. I remember to keep all the details for the police. This all happened between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. He decided to follow me. Yeah, there was even a guy fast asleep and totally oblivious. The airport was quiet, almost dead, full of people sleeping on benches and such. I mean, yeah, I can agree. This is at least a realistic scenario. I do take back what I said earlier. I do think this could legitimately have happened and she's not making it up. I don't know what I expected, but at least the me in 2023 would have expected more. The biggest reason why him reacting this way is an issue is because later on he would use this as an example of how much he's done for me. In future arguments, he would say that he supported me when I went through this to get a leg up on me, and use it as an example of how he went the extra mile for me when I don't reciprocate regarding unrelated things in his eyes. Okay, this is him. Who bought you a plane ticket last minute with no planning whatsoever because I effed up, but you refused to leave the airport? Me, who got molested at said airport because of the unplanned tickets I got you. You, but who was instantly there to give you some sort of help and advice at a moment's notice. That's right, me. I can keep on going, but when I reverse the list to see what you've done for me, where have you been there for me? When you've been there for me, You know to do your basic responsibilities as a wife. Let's see. He's flexing about doing not even the bare minimum. Who got molested? You. Who was instantly there to give you support and advice? Me. Not instantly there, no advice, no support, just sad face and blaming me for getting sexually assaulted by a stranger. Back to wanting to divorce myself from you. Now currently, I'm back to wanting to kill myself because you're not there for me. You won't be there if I need you on a moment's notice because apparently the internet is the ultimate barrier for you when it's never been one for me. You stopped me from killing myself when I was divorcing. You left your families for me, just for me because of disagreements. You flew to America before I deployed. Those are noticeable things I remember. Again, this is super confusing the way it's laid out. Funny that she doesn't say shit about what happened when she was with him in person. Yeah, this is a very good point, Crimson Hair. I find this very disingenuous because she's basically saying, oh, he didn't support me in any way, but I do agree that this is a bit kind of weak. If it's a weak thing to say to somebody who was nearly molested, oh, that's tragic, that's awful. At the same time, the tone of the way they're conversing with each other in these messages, they are very short, they are very snappy messages. These do not feel like people who are going to sit down and have long, detailed conversations over Facebook Messenger over their feelings and their issues. So I simply do not get the impression that this was a case of him never offering support for her. What I see here, as Dim the Lamp just said, I don't know how I feel. I feel like she cherry-picked these messages and we are missing context. Yes. If he came out and said, oh, she's missing the context, I was supportive and I was affectionate towards her and I did give her support, I just wasn't in either a good state to offer support or I didn't want to do it over Facebook Messenger, which I can understand. If a VTuber came to me in Discord and said, I have just been assaulted or something, you guys all know how I type. You know that I'm the kind of guy who is perfectly ready to write multiple paragraphs worth of text to somebody over Discord. It's a meme. It's literally a meme in my community. The Proctor is typing. However, there are other people who just don't view, who aren't able to put the empathy into text, who would not see text as a way to console somebody, who would have the attitude of, I really do feel for you, I feel emotionally for you, I want to help you, but it's going to come across as hollow if I just say to you over Facebook Messenger, oh, this is awful, this is dreadful, I feel so sorry for you. And I would honestly agree, like, when I am trying to show sympathy for someone in a DM or whatever, I try and be extremely expressive about what I say, because I want them to feel as if I have at the very least put in effort in what I am saying to try and reach them. That I'm not just saying generically, oh, that's really tragic, that's awful, I was sending you lots of love, I'm sending you lots of hugs, oh, it's really awful this happened to you, it's so dreadful. Because if someone were to say that to me and I was in the position of needing comfort and consolation, I would not find that in any way comforting or consoling. Muffy Graves, I've dated lots of guys who won't text emotions, but as soon as I see them, they will overflow with emotions. Yes, and I think having people like you in the chat to give more context to this from the feminine perspective really helps, because I think that we can agree on that. I really don't see that these two things work in Froot's favor, because this could very just as easily be a difference in the way that certain people express their emotions. I mean, I think that personally, if somebody said this to me, I would most definitely be saying a lot of things to be sympathetic towards them in text. But, again, this guy is in the army. He's not going to be a great literary person. Oh. Good grief, that scared me for a second. Jack Riley, thank you for entering the asylum. I really appreciate that. Guys just don't know how to express with words. Yes, Tris-chan. Text is terrible at conveying tone, especially without knowing the specifics of both situations. I agree. Like, and again, I am not saying that he is in the right. I think that he handled the situation poorly. But what I am seeing does not translate to abusive behavior. It does not support the argument that she is currently trying to push. It does not pass the sniff test, in my opinion. Especially army men. Made me choose between unconsented sex or getting cheated on. What the frick? My ex was adamant on trying a form of sexual activity. I constantly said no. Even when he made jokes about it, I was still serious in saying no. He didn't respect my decision. When I went offline after I tell him no a number of times and expressed my disappointment with his statements, he still painted me as the one in the wrong for not being comfortable with him pushing past my boundaries. The next day, I wake up to his messages implying he wanted to commit suicide over me exercising autonomy over my body. I think she was talking about bum stuff. Yeah, she's talking about anal here. He was pretty furious and worried, but didn't know how to get that across in text. Yes, and I think that people like Kirsche as well would be able to understand this if it happened to them. If you're an understanding woman, you will be able to acknowledge when a man simply is not able to emotionally respond to you in the way that he would like to, but it's just but because he thinks differently from you, he's not going to be able to do it in the way that you want. Azahara-chan, imagine wanting to off yourself because she won't let you touch her chocolate starfish. He wants to have sex with Froot. Automatic loss of respect. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And once again, Froot has real fruit-in-mouth syndrome. Because once again, this is something that I would be intrinsically inclined to understand, because I have been exposed to an awful lot of women who will say things like, men will never talk to me about the things that I want done to me. It's impossible for me to communicate with my partner sexually in a way that results in a good experience for both of us. Or, I have tried to talk to my boyfriend and he said, look, if I have to talk to you about what I want, it's not natural. It's not natural, okay? And so it takes the fun out of it if it's not spontaneous. So I am fully aware that between couples, there is an immense amount of miscommunication and misunderstandings, and very often it's the man's fault. I have never met it really actually worries me how willing women have been to talk to me about how disappointing they find their boyfriends. I guess I have an aura which is like, yeah, I'm the kind of person that some women have been like, yeah, I can talk to this guy about the problems that I have. Muffy Graves, sorry, life is not a sex talk book. You need to talk to your partner. Yes. Dim the lamp. Gech aura. What does Gech stand for? Azihara, you... I hate all you people. If I could time all of you out, I would. Oh no, you have the gay best... Oh no, the gay best friend aura. It's so over. It is just something that I've always found very confusing, because I've spoken earlier in this stream about how much I want to know things. I want to know everything. And when I get a sexual partner, I fully intend to be extremely frank and open with her about the kind of things that I want to do with her, and I would sincerely hope that she feels comfortable enough to reciprocate. And not just because that is natural to me, but also because I have literally heard so many women willing to talk to me and say, I cannot get a man to communicate with me about intimate matters, no matter how hard I try, and no matter how much better it would be if he just did. Like, that is not a pitfall that I want to fall into. Muffy Graves, then again, these are kids, so they don't know how to talk about sex and weird body stuff, so they are, what, like, 19? I think that he is a little bit older than her. Big Whale, Proctor gets a girl, then drops his tags tier list on her. Porian, so the tail plug is mandatory, we get it. Dim the lamp, make a list, and make her mark with... I mean, to be perfectly honest, given the kind of horror stories that I have heard, I genuinely think that that making a list and getting a partner to review it and tick mark which one she wants isn't even the worst way to go about it. Unironically, it's that bad out there. That guy there, I read about also men who experience that their girlfriends expect them to read their thoughts. Yeah, I'm not saying that women are always in the right in these situations. There are plenty of uncommunicative women as well. But in my experience, the fault usually lies with the man. So, to go back to the document, I am inclined towards believing Froot's side of the story here. However, the framing is just wrong. Because then she says, the next day I wake up to these messages implying he wanted to commit suicide over me exercising autonomy over my body. And the wordings are so loaded with that kind of feminist rhetoric that I just don't like it. If she just said here, he wanted to commit suicide over me saying no to him, I can understand that, but this really feels manipulative language. It's trying to turn you against the other person by highlighting, by kind of virtue signaling that these are all the talking points that the male feminists and all the simps would go off on. Oh, you disrespected the autonomy of my queen! Last of the Mohicans, in Japan, they literally sell pillows that say yes on one side and no on the other side, so that people don't actually have to communicate whether or not they want hanky-panky that night. Last, can you send me a link to one of those pillows? I want to see that for myself. Big Whale, very sterile clinical language that paints a more extreme portrait of the events. Crime show writers are going to be out of the job because they have no language left to make it seem dramatic. Stale, yeah, that was the purpose 100%. I agree. Thank you for agreeing with me. I just want to make it absolutely clear that I don't claim to be an authority about any of this. If any of you genuinely disagree with my takes, then do say so and push back on me on this, because I don't want to talk to an echo chamber. If I am misreading something or whatever, please do say so. Porian, I think she uses that language since she's old and is trying to be hip and down with the kids and the cancelling lingo. She's 27, she's not that old. Yeah, I love the stupid arrows. So you have to start at the freaking bottom. Or wait, no. Oh, for God's sake, this is so irritating. Oh yes, so lucky I ended up with a woman who won't try something everyone else tries. I've never effed a woman in the arse. Guilt tripping, that's not fair. Yes, absolutely, I don't want to. At first he was joking about it, knowing fully well I've said no in the past. I don't want to try it. You're gonna try it. Fight me. This is really childish. This is really silly. This is very, very much teenagers talking about lewd stuff here. Everyone else tries porn sick behavior. I mean, the guy was in the military, okay? He's not going to be the sharpest stick in the box. Magdalenus Rex, she should just have said, he tried to threaten suicide because I didn't want him to be a degenerate. Yes, that's actually a very good point. That 77 an internet time old man, a real Shakespeare. Yeah, this is very much kind of teenage ERP nonsense. At first he was joking about it. Oh yes, so lucky. No, I already read that. You quite obviously wanted to leave me over saying no to, and you're still trying to turn this around. Before you were up for trying, now you're just flat out saying no. I've always said no, but you don't listen. It's a letdown. The conversation with you is a letdown. Yeah, this is very bitter. This is very bitter stuff. For God's sake, Froot, this formatting is unironically triggering me. This is Akuma Miko times 10. So, whatever is going somewhere for you, so I'm not allowed to say what I'm uncomfortable to do. You don't have to. God forbid you ever try to without my consent, but no, I won't die without trying at least once. Is that the suicide baiting thing? Maybe it'll be after you die. What does that even mean? And to him, he's implying me saying no to this one thing is the same as me saying no to absolutely everything else. So you're going to F someone else then. Maybe at some point, what are you trying to say? Maybe it'll be after you die, but it's going to happen. That you're going to drag this out as long as possible until you decide to leave me. I just don't see the point of a relationship that doesn't try things you're uncomfortable with. If it ain't this, it can be something else one day. That's a bad thing to say, okay? This thing right here that he says, I can't highlight it, but I would. This thing right here that I'm furiously waggling my cursor upon. Yeah, don't say this. Don't say this to your partner, guys. Don't say this. It's a very bad idea. He is 100% at fault for saying this in particular. Like, the tone of this conversation implies to me they were already very close to breaking up. Move on to the next part, okay. I'll go down to the very bottom. We are not equal like we assumed we were. You never once saw me as an equal, blah, blah, blah. This is just nonsense. I would give you shit, but that's about it. Oh, for God's sake, I don't even know where... Let me just go down all the way to the... You know what scares me? Being poor. Yeah, I don't mind being 2,000 in the hole because I would do it for you. Easy for you. Call it peer pressure. Call it what you want, but you cannot provide. You're effed up. Telling you'll leave me because you cannot provide something. Telling you'll leave me because you cannot provide something I want. Telling me you're going to cheat on me unless I do it. That's effed. That's exactly what you just did to me. Quit pinning this around. You look like an absolute dickhole. I mean, I can kind of agree with Froot here. I would give you shit, but that's about it. 1 second. I will put my money where my mouth is. But making me feel like I have to be forced to do something I'm completely uncomfortable with is stressing me out and stressed out by the sake of this relationship. That's okay to you. I wasn't aware you were such a baby. It's a wonder we managed to have sex. That's not fair, considering how scared you were of nature. You're right, it isn't. Society says we're forced to stick with... Oh, God. Yeah, yet she won't support me in something that she's not comfortable with. I forgot you're going to chicken out of that too. Because you love not experiencing anything for yourself. Being scared is no joke. It isn't, but at some point you have to have courage. When I'm ready on my terms, if you're not going to die, what are you scared of? On your terms, nothing will ever happen. Sounds like they both were dumb as F, but she's milking it for sure. Arclight, relationships playing out over text is another nail in society's coffin. I completely agree. Cecilia... Yeah, this guy is a tool a lot of the time. I do agree. I want nobody to come away from this stream thinking that I feel that this is just a case of Froot being mean to a perfect cinnamon roll of an ex who she did everything wrong to and then left after he was like a perfect, based and honest guy. No, he's a nut job. Parian, no, he keeps going on about dying. He's clearly a nut job. He is very lucky that Froot, of all people, is her ex. He'd be raked over the coals otherwise. I can agree with that, 100%. Do not marry. Let me just pull back a little bit. When my mother was very young, she did charity support work with a woman's group, like a woman's health group. And her area of service was a military estate in Britain. And the military estates were houses that were given to the wives of military men who were away on deployment. And what she used to do is just go around to these houses and offer support, counseling, assistance, etc. with these women. And if you ask her about it, she will say that the rates of abuse in those houses was close to something like 90%. Pretty much every single woman that she spoke to, every single military wife on that estate had been battered at some point. And every single one of them was the kind... You could tell the moment their husband came home on deployment because they would show up to the center with a black eye or something. It was very, very bad. So I don't want anyone to think that I am defending this guy at all, because I can completely believe that he was abusive towards Froot. That's not what I'm disputing. I am disputing the way that she is framing all of this and very blatantly milking it for sympathy in a very manipulative and negative context. Big Whale, there was a stigma about dating military men throughout the 90s and double O's because of the stories. Yeah, the stories are true. The stories are 100% true. Relationships in the military have a terrifying level of domestic abuse. Triptych, does she accuse him of beating her, though? I don't know. We'll go through. We'll continue. Arclight, by today's standards, every adult sitting around your Thanksgiving table has committed some sort of assault at this point. Dim the Lamp, I don't know, the abuse with words is still kind of meh to me. Yeah, so far, this relationship is not working. However, this relationship is stupid and cringe. It's not to the level of lifelong trauma yet. We'll see where it goes. Okay. Previously, I said the reason for me saying no was because I was scared. Now he brings back the topic and uses it to make his own point about what he's scared of to compare himself to me, to make the thing he's scared about seem worse than what I'm scared of. This is how an abuser invalidates your views and guilts you into doing something you're not comfortable with. Muffy Graves, the fact that this happened almost 10 years ago and she's still going off about it means she needs help, and airing it out on Twitter is not help. I agree with that. Igramon 6, same with cops, something like 60% of police admit to physically abusing their wives. I mean, my brother is in law enforcement, and he does not abuse his wife, because he is a genuinely nice person, but yeah, he can tell you some stories as well. We went from him pressuring me into doing something I said no to multiple times and threatening to sleep with another woman if I don't agree to it, to, I can provide, what can you do? It seems to him having autonomy over my own body is selfish. I feel like Kirsha could talk about this very well because, yeah, I'm a virgin. She's had 6 boyfriends. She knows a lot more about this than I do. But, yeah, this is very kind of twisted and stupid on both sides. You're being selfish, so now you're throwing everything in there that's completely irrelevant because if you won't give it up, you'll leave me. I'm not talking to you, I'm closing Facebook and getting on with my work, go to bed, you upset me. I do find it interesting that even at this point, it's not him saying, I'll leave you. She says that. She talks about suicide, but I haven't seen any evidence that he was going down the suicide route yet. What the hell is this? I never imagined you'd actually say no. I've always said no, you never listened. That's where he starts bringing up suicide. Let me just go down to the bottom here. If you're not going to do anything about it, why are you still worried? Either way, nothing's going to change. The only thing different now is that I'm aware of where I stand. At the very bottom, I'm aware you won't go the extra mile for me. I'm aware that you're as basic of a woman as it gets. I really may as well be dead. What a pointless existence. I'll be living with you. If you're afraid to go out of your comfort zone, we'd rather see me dead or effing another woman before you do anything for me. Ever since this morning when you ultimately wanted to leave me to prove how serious you are, I've been contemplating suicide again, because at the end of the day, no matter how normal my life appears to be, it will always come crashing and burning around me. Nothing will remain of what I had hope in. Nothing I care about survives the test of time. So if you don't stick around, I won't be on this earth, but that's a decision I'll make another time. I'm done with living. It's the same stuff over and over again. The suffering of my heart. The suffering of my heart. So I put up with it and cry in public or go away quietly. Yeah, this is very much average military man musings right here. This man is not a great soldier of Magog, put it that way. And up here is the important part. Someone who loves you won't deprive you of something. They'll at least let you have a workaround, but you won't even do that. Yeah, this is a terrible attitude, okay? This right here, again, furious mouse waggling. Never say this to a partner. This is the one attitude that will lose you more relationships than anything else. The idea someone who loves you won't deprive you of something if they don't want to do it. Yeah, that works both ways, mate. If you love somebody, you will accommodate them when they say, this genuinely isn't something that I want to do, and I really would hate to do it. Don't say that kind of thing. You will lose every relationship you go into where you think this is something you can get away with. Exactly, Gigamon 6. People who love each other respect their boundaries. Buffy Graves. This all sounds like one of my exes who just want to put me in a box I would never fit in. Last of the Mohicans. Is Blue fruit or husbandman? Blue is the husband. Blue is the husband. Green is the fruit. The origin of the rune. It's like different when you're getting roided out to go to the sandbox. Yeah, I suppose it can be. But yeah, this is something, this kind of statement says to me that he really does not understand what a good relationship is. This all started as a joke. I never imagined you would actually say no. That's what I'm most upset about. Yeah, it's not happening. If it ain't missionary, it ain't authorized by army regulations. I'ma let my fear control me now. What the hell is this nonsense? What the hell is this? This is gibberish. This is gibberish. Zerstora, that military man clearly sees her as her sex partner than a GF. John Doe, he should have dumped her when she cheated in IMO. These people are married, I'm fairly sure. Like, this is a marriage that they're in right now. Yeah, Blue sounds like an absolute drama queen. He is, absolutely. Like, this was obviously a doomed relationship. This is him still confronting me about it next day. Let me go down a bit more. If you're fine giving me the bare minimum in this relationship, just know that you don't deserve anything extra I have done for you in the past. I'll leave it at that because I've already had the same discussion. And this is over a single sex act. It goes beyond that because this could be anything. Yeah, and if you choose them over me, I would say the same thing. I was prepared to give up my family for you last year. Porian, they were never married other than in God's eyes. No ceremony, rings, or documents, if I remember correctly. What? What? Gigadramon 6. Yes, she confirms later on they were legally married. Dim the lamp. It reads like people that have known each other for a couple of months. Bored. Seeing a married couple dirty laundry just stinks all over. I agree. There is no reason to have ever published this, basically. And again, the problem here is that Froot has a tremendous amount of power from her status as a woman. When a woman speaks out about abuse, people are inclined towards believing them automatically. If a man speaks out about a woman abusing him, he's going to get mocked and laughed at and dismissed. The hashtag Believe All Women movement is incredibly powerful. Even now, after it's been rocked by so many scandals, it's still very powerful. I don't see why she needs to share any of this. All it does is open more questions. Gidramon 6, she just says it was basically an only on paper marriage because there was no ceremony or anything beyond paperwork. Ah, I see. Porian, was that during when she moved to the military base? I thought that was when she talked about it being a total sham marriage. Believe all women until Biden did. Sorry, Tara, but hashtag not all women. Oh, dear. I've already had the same discussion before in the past. He's referring to his ex-wife. So how old is this guy? Muffy Graves, some people still see Depp as the bad guy, and it shows. No means no. I would also like to mention having children and getting married are the two biggest ways an abuser will manipulate their partner into not being able to... Okay, fuck off with this. Fuck off with this. Absolutely fuck off with this. This is such manipulative bullshit. This kind of... Yeah, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Just fuck off with this. A time he threatened to cheat on me if I didn't consent to what he wanted to do. A whole load of screenshots. I can't be with a man who Fs other women no matter how depressed I am for this relationship. You either deserve my dick or you don't. What's it going to be? You can F other women, but you can't stay with me. You can't stay with me. I'll F women to be happy. I can't be with you if you F other women. Since you won't make the attempt to me, then everything you're telling me is a lie. You think I don't deserve you? Literally, what's the point of commitment to you if you're just inviting me to cheat on you? You know, there's one thing the chaplains did say about my previous divorce, which was, because of that alone, statistics say I'm 50% more likely to divorce my next wife. The chaplain was the only based guy in all of this. Armchair Expert. Hello, Armchair Expert. Nice that I was able to stream late enough for you to catch me in Australian time. The didactic tone really clashes with the premise of sharing this in a moment of vulnerability. Yes, it's like I said earlier, I don't think you might not have been here, but I said that the way this is all framed massively detracts from the kind of message that it's trying to convey. It's very much written as from a very clinical kind of, hello, male feminist allies, please dunk on this person and have absolute sympathy for me and never question anything. That's very much what how it's framed to me. But it's all shared in this kind of, oh, I'm finally moving past this. This is just a moment for me. It's so sensitive and raw. The two styles don't mix at all. Azihara-chan, the dick deserver. A timey threat. Yeah, I already read that. Because when you start feeling the same negative feelings you got from your last marriage, all you want to do is give up again. Is there anything above this? Yeah. My dyslexia causes me to have working memory loss. It can sometimes affect my life, but it's nothing too serious. I will struggle to remember a date unless I write it down or other people remind me. Working memory is the capacity to store information of an individual's temporary memory in order to perform a task. This posed a problem in my relationship with my ex-abuser. This was before I got an official diagnosis. I had no real proof of being dyslexic at the time. He would gaslight me into thinking I'm just abusing and stupid and lazy. Dyslexia does not affect your intelligence. He would use words like slow, stupid, retarded, or dumb. I love how she's censoring a retard. He claimed that I was just trying to find excuses and crutches for forgetting to do something for him, all the while I was across the ocean studying for my degree in university. He refused to believe me, so I went out and saw a psychologist and got an official diagnosis. After I came back with real proof this time, he was then upset about how life isn't fair for him and how he just couldn't have a normal functioning partner. This did not stop him from gaslighting me into thinking I'm stupid. Big Whale, these logs would be good compiled as evidence of his character, but it's such a waste of time laid out like this, especially since it seems to be one stretch of a conversation, not several dates. I do agree with you. Chank Saotome, oh god, I realize what this all is. Someone said she sounds like she needs help. This is the help. This is a therapy journal and she published it. Her therapist told her to do this. I think you might be right. I think you might be right. You know, it's really funny. Let me just DM someone. I'm not sure if they're still watching, but I'm very curious. They might pop up in chat already. Let me just take a screenshot of that and send it to somebody. Because I actually know someone that I could get an opinion from about this. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second, because I want to be able to get somebody's actual opinion on this. Not sure. Curious. Sorry, I can't. I'm just going to move my microphone up a bit because I can't see the keyboard properly. This is at all a possibility. There we go. There we go. Okay, I have solicited a potentially superior opinion to my own. Generic fan, it'd be hilarious if the therapist was unaware of her being a VTuber and was expecting this to be published to a small Facebook page and not millions of people. That would be quite hilarious, honestly. Guardian of the Room, I wouldn't ever want to be involved with this situation again if it got out. I don't think there will be a counter document. I know the guy appeared somewhere or other. Big Whale, I think he would just have told her to write this, not share it. No way share it. Oh, I might get an expert opinion at some point soon. But yeah, that is a very, very interesting take, Sao Tome. I will definitely do my best to consider that one. This was after I decided to prove it to him by going out and getting an official diagnosis. Now you have an excuse. You haven't read upon it for everything that affects memory, speech. Yeah, I'm sure you're magically retarded to suit your needs. You know, this guy is an idiot. However, the way that Froot acts, you know what? He's not entirely wrong. Froot is 100% the kind of person I can see going to a psychologist, because she's in the UK. Psychologists in the UK are mostly independent contractors. It is incredibly easy to get them to give you a diagnosis of something like dyslexia, ADHD, etc. Your choices are either go with the NHS, aka you go on a waiting list for 2 years, minimum. Or you go to a private psychologist, who you can see very quickly, who has a massive, massive, massive incentive to diagnose you with anything, because every time they diagnose you, they can bill the government. Big whale, UK therapy is they put you in a waiting list, and the process of being in a queue passively soothes the soul. That's so real, I'm not even going to laugh at it. So, yeah, the fact that she says she went to a psychologist, considering that all of this is within the same time period, there is no way in hell that she went to a professional psychologist employed by the NHS who does not have a conflict of interest. That's my personal insight on it. Sounds like, Muffy Grave, sounds like Canada, except the NHS will also try and get you on MAID. Ugh, don't. I'm not going to go on a Canada tangent right now. You now have an excuse. You can't pull shit like me, with me like this forever. If that's your reason for everything, I'm not going to stick around. What are you talking about? Pull shit? Exactly as it sounds, using your disability as a crutch. Guys, I want your comments on this. Is Froot the kind of person who would do this? I'm very curious. Do people think that Froot is the kind of woman who would use disability as a crutch? Dim the lamp immediately? Yes! The Mad Matter, thank God, behavioral therapy is private in the US. They actually care about you getting better so you can recommend them to others. Yes, Asahara, yes, Murphy Graves, yes, Dale, yes, Lion, OFC, Zerstora, I doubt it. Okay. So not 100% agreement. Yes, 110%. Yeah, you can't pull this kind of thing again. This is where the whole narrative falls apart. If this document was written by a random indie, or let's say that... I'm trying to pick a name out of a hat here. Who would be a good person? Who do I even watch? That's the thing. I'm terrible. I have all these names in my head, and yet the moment I start to think about them, it's like, yeah, I can't remember now. Let's just try and pick a name out of a hat. Like, yeah. Let's say...
Like a few left.
Sorry. Let's say Smug Alana. Let's say Smug Alana posted a document like this. If somebody like Smug Alana was to post a document like this, and maybe remove a little bit of the manipulative wording, then I would say 100% I agree with her side of the story. Why? Because Smug Alana is a pretty nice woman. She does not have a history of lying. She does not have a history of manipulation. She does not have a history of trying to twist situations to her own personal advantage. Froot, on the other hand, does. The Mad Matter, I agree with Smug Alana's Alanis. Big Whale, the thing is, if he ever got an injury during service, he would never shut up about it, you just know. That's true, that's true. Yeah, Daniel Sierra, good moral character. Yeah, if a VTuber, or person in general, with a good moral character was to come out with a document like this containing the same screenshots and just slightly edited wording, I would be 100% on their side. The main reason I am questioning this so much is because I simply do not believe in the moral character of the person making these accusations. Oh my goodness, I didn't even read this part until just now. He didn't like that I watched an anime that depicted a gay couple. I had spent the day watching an anime called Citrus when it was released. It's just an innocent rom-com about two gay girls. I wanted to talk to my ex about it because I enjoyed the show. He had a complete homophobic tantrum about his disdain for me watching anything even related to the topic of LGBTQ. I'm sorry, is this supposed to make him look bad? I have always been a fan of the yuri genre in anime. I have drawn both attractive women and attractive men in my art previously. This has never been an issue prior with my ex, so I was shocked to see his reaction. Why is he... Oh... Yeah, should have read the manga. I know very little about Citrus, but isn't the Citrus manga, doesn't it have, like, very strong abusive undertones itself? Isn't, like, one of the characters very, very aggressive and borderline abusive towards the more submissive partner? Again, I haven't read it, so if I'm wrong, please tell me if I'm wrong. But that's yes. This is a call for support from the Rainbow Gang. It absolutely is. There is no reason to bring this up. I mean, yeah, Taffinator, a soldier who hates LGBTQ, sounds base, TVH. Yeah. One of the girls is getting banged by the teacher, I believe. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Oh. Oh, let me just scroll down all the way. Da-da-da. You don't have the right to call me selfish while being the most malnourished, sleep deprived. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm sorry. He's back to being based again. He's back to being based again. I'm sorry. Calling out the VTuber for being malnourished and sleep deprived. Bro be spitting facts. Bro be spitting facts. Your personality and the way you act is childish. That's fine. I'm still 10 times more successful in my life. That's a bit of a bitch move. Just like how you're probably a closet gay. Yes, Magdalena's Rex. Don't start a VTubing company or they'll take all your money and convert to lesbianism. I feel, Refined Melith, I feel bad because occasionally his comments are so real. Yes, Refined Melith, please listen to the architects in your chat and actually eat something for a change. Generic fan, for context, this was all after the cheating right, or are there some bits before? I don't know, I'm afraid. I don't know. He wasn't wrong. I refuse to be with a woman who associates with anything that isn't normal. Gays aren't normal. I have standards for myself just because you want to be gay. You want to accept them as part of a society when they're all of just a bunch of mental disorder, and you enjoy watching stuff. That means you're too blinded by emotions to realize how unscientific it is for people to be gay. You're saying you would prefer for me to find true love in a... Most people don't jump into relationships with the intent of reproducing. You didn't date me solely for the reason of reproduction, did you? Hayabusa9x9. I am intrigued by this person's opinions, and I wish to subscribe to his newsletter. He was young when this happened, and I guess today he is a based Chad. I have no idea. That's a very unchristian statement, Froot. Show me on your body where the vagina from another woman is supposed to go. Last of the Mohicans is like the episode of South Park. The Mad Matter IRIC. A key screenshot of one of her Discord relationships was dated to March of 2018, though I could be wrong. Some of these screenshots are before, some after. She really knows how to pick 'em. Holy based Batman. She should release more documents. Is this what we're getting? You're going to approve the fact that people think it's acceptable to have a mental disorder and find it amusing. You think gay people are normal. That's why you watch shit like Yuri. That's why you approve of gay relations. You find entertainment. I don't even watch or binge Yuri. Citrus is an anime hyped up by everyone. I know it's the only reason I watched it was because Crunchyroll promoted it. You're going to follow the crowd. You're going to approve the fact that people think it's acceptable to have a mental disorder and find it amusing. Oh, do I need to break it down further for you? She should rebrand. This would give her views. Small Tank, the more we see this DMs, the less people are inclined to believe Froot. At least non-believe all people type, believe all women type people. He just puzzle pieced her. My neighbor knocked and asked my pet died. Gigadramon 6, this part really does show how dumb this guy is. He chastises her for potentially liking women and then goes on to try and pressure her into an MFF threesome later. But don't you understand that it's hot when women do it together if they're then both going to do it to you afterwards? That's the generic... That's not me being serious, by the way. That's a generic response. Beak Whale, so you're going to follow the crowd? Oh, how little he knew. Sovereign. Sovereign, sorry. When was it that she shat on her brother for being trans again? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Suddenly bringing up the fact that I developed depression with him while he wasn't eating or sleeping. I was perfectly fine mentally before I met him. Press X to doubt. And to compare himself to me, saying he's successful at his current age. At this time I was 20 and he was 22. Okay. I'm not going to read all of this. I don't really care. This screenshot is 2 hours later. I'd just been dealing with verbal abuse from watching a Yuri anime. I was at my breaking point. I told him I disagree with him. If I told him I disagree with him, he would abuse me. If I didn't have the same views as him, he would abuse me. If I didn't give up and let him win, he would abuse me the next day. None of his abuse was working. I still didn't give in. Later called me for 2 hours. When he called me, he would victimize himself and act like his life is the worst to make me feel sorry for him. He would constantly call himself names and put himself down to me. Yeah, typical army man behavior right there. Me saying you're not a piece of shit is a response to him telling me something like you probably think I'm a piece of shit. I mean, yeah. I mean, as much as I dislike Froot, she is completely in the right for considering him a piece of shit. Not for this take up here, but for the other stuff. Because yeah, he's a pretty broken and miserable person. Usually when I found myself not able to breathe, it's because I'm reacting to him talking about vocally contemplating suicide. A running theme with every session he had with me was him ending the argument with threatening suicide. He will be a raging homophobe, and because I don't agree with it, he will use this tactic to brainwash me. He said that me engaging with LGBTQ content threatened his career in the US Army, and eventually after 2 hours of emotional manipulation I gave in. This is how he eventually managed to skew all of my opinions and views into becoming a carbon copy of his. I wanted to avoid abuse every way that I could. This happened every time I wanted to talk about my interests that didn't align with his. Cared more about his sex life than my mental health. Many such cases. In 2018 is when I developed depression. I was slowly falling into a hole, but my ex couldn't care less. I started drinking alcohol to feel better. I don't care about this. The marriage. This is somewhat interesting. She is blaming him for her homophobic shit. Yeah, that's very convenient, extremely convenient about about how the stuff that she has posted herself was, oh no, it was just me. It was just me being manipulated by my abusive ex to be homophobic and say those horrible things. Just, guys, it was all him, not me. Also, I got a reply from the person who I asked. I will just read out what they said. I read through the Froot document, and yes, I could see that. Journaling is pretty common homework therapists give to patients to help patients work through their trauma, among other things. I've used it too. It's not something you'd really share with people because your therapist and people very close to you, besides your therapist and people very close to you, like a significant other though. I guess you technically could, but I wouldn't see why you would. The wording she uses throughout is very much clinical therapy talk that is being co-opted by regular people right now. I don't know if she learned it from her therapist or the internet. I really appreciate perspective. perspectives like this adds a lot to my... So yeah, that's somebody who actually has a background in psychology. So that was basically their comments on it. Big Whale, a segment titled Men Care More About Sex Than Mental Health, and Proc skips past it poetry. Hayabusa 9x9, wait, doing gay shit is the new mission protocol for the US Army. Porian, yeah, her liking LGBT would affect his career in the army, sent him on the road to becoming a general. Yeah, exactly. Everybody who knows anything about the US Army at the moment knows that it is hyper gigaposed to the nth degree, especially the command structure. That whole thing wasn't a real marriage. There was no wedding ceremony, etc. I was alone. I'd been stripped away from my family, etc. I had nothing left but him because he made sure of that. He made me choose between him and my family and made me scared to think for myself. I traveled alone for the first time to America at 19, and it was at his home when I had nowhere to go and no way of getting myself home when he asked me to marry him. I didn't want to, but I also didn't want to know what was going to happen if I said no, so I pressured myself into saying yes on the spot. My family hated me, I hated me, he made me believe I was incapable of living without him. He molded me into his pocket housewife. I never wanted any of this. I had only been dating him for less than a year at that point. I didn't want to have to deal with whatever happened, but if I refused, so I signed the paper. I was no longer a human being. I was my abuser's property. He had full control of me. Now he knew I couldn't leave, even when I live in another country, because I was now legally binded to this man and his abuse of me worsened. I was stuck. If you had been dating for less than a year, why exactly, and he was already abusing you, why did you dump your family and why did you travel to America to be with him? This does not really make much sense to me. Again, maybe it's a woman thing. Maybe a woman can just say, yeah, I would do that, but... Dim the lamp, you can always call family. Sounds like bullshit if her family isn't like Kirsch's mom, of course. For Ian, I never wanted any of this. Signed, woman who moved to another continent to be with him. It's a lie, woman logic. No, as a woman, that's stupid. That was my same thought process. Yeah, none of this just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. This is not something a mentally sound and healthy person does, okay? You can't do all of this and then say, it is 100% the fault of my evil abuser. He made me fly across continents with no obligation. Like, if she'd said... She could even have said something like, oh, he threatened to commit suicide if I wouldn't be with him. Maybe you could kind of get away with saying that. It just doesn't work. Choose one, he was always abusive or he was not. Yeah, that's another thread through this. Like, they dated... And the Mad Hatter, she had no way back. Why go down then? Lynn, we are talking about Froot. Her calling her mentally sound is like calling the heaven green. I feel a massive amount of shame and embarrassment of myself over this. Yeah, that really shines out in all of your content, Froot. This is the biggest regret I forced myself to repress over the years. Now, I don't consider myself as ever having been married, but instead I view it as a traumatic event. I only ever referred to him as my boyfriend, and I have never referred to someone as my husband because it wasn't what I wanted. He used me... Okay, this doesn't make sense to me at all. Yeah, that's actually a very good point, Tavernator. Very good point. Fruit's mom is feral in protecting her precious daughter who does no wrong. So her excuse of family not being available is bollocks. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I had forgotten the Apri mom, mother of liches angle to all this. Yeah, how exactly is she supposed to have been helpless and estranged from her family who hated her when... her mother is ready to die for her on Twitter and will start random fights with people saying, my daughter is a perfect, wonderful, amazing person who you should all love, and all of this. That makes... There is... Someone here is lying, okay? Somebody here is lying. You just can't have it both ways. Daniel Sierra, it's the D. She probably wanted to hook up, then regretted it afterwards, and is making excuses for her poor decision-making. She walked out on her mom to be with this guy. Her mother opposed it. Okay. Sorry, my live chat on OBS has just broken. Let me just mess things out around a bit so I can actually see it. There we go. Azihara, shut up, Mom! You know nothing! And she cut contact. So it was her that cut contact. Okay. Zuli, I've gotten into the camp that her mom is just LARPing at this point. Yeah, that is a possibility. I'm not going to deny that. The Mad Matter, also her family hated her. Seems like they were more smothering her. Porian, I think she and her and April Mum was on bad terms then, and she was instrumental in making Froot leave her husband. Generic fan, benefit of the doubt. Her mother is compensating for being unavailable in earlier parts of his life. Big Whale, at 19, their dynamic would have been different. Her mom would have been the same, but she may not have been seen as her as supportive of the time, likely because Froot was making dumb decisions. Someone might have been bitterness just from Fruit's end, and given the things she said about her family in the past. Taffinator, I mean, even if contact was cut in the situation, any parent would move heaven and earth to save their child. I mean, sadly, I do disagree with the whole any parent, but this feels another paragraph that is just a bit too manipulative. I don't like how any of this is phrased. This just doesn't sit well with me. This is not believable to me on the basis of the observable evidence that I have seen. Eaterbond6, didn't she say that she had pushed her family away in favor of this guy at some point? Yeah, she did. She did. I don't want to dig in with this. I think that there are good arguments for and against, and I'm not going to make a judgment either way. Big Whale, yeah, to me the phrase "give it" sounds like rewriting events to reflect current emotions. I think my chat is fairly evenly divided over this, which I think is fair. I think it shows to me that there is some possible diversity of thought here. I'm not going to pass judgment on it. During this time, when it was supposed to be an overseas vacation to go and see him, he turned me into a housewife, demanding me to make his lunch every single day the exact way that he wanted it, making me do his chores in a house I don't live in, and if I messed up even a little bit, he would shout at me and insult me until leaving me alone to deal with what he had just given me, taking out all of his frustrations at work on me. Yeah, I can understand. I can believe that. I can believe that. Like I said before, I agree with Norm on this. Generic fan, the human mind is terrible at remembering the past emotional state that led to your prior decisions. Memories are parsed using current emotions. I agree. Guardian to the Rune, helicopter parent, maybe she wanted to go to America to be free? Entirely possible. Entirely possible. I wasn't allowed to have friends. When I was living in my student house with 6 of the uni students, they liked that our house parties in the house. Overall, it was very large. The parties were just your average university. Each party happened 3-4 times a year, so barely ever. My ex disapproved of this. I remember breaking down in front of my friends because of the emotional blackmail he would use on me to get me to leave every social situation. This is possible. This is possible. It's not. It's very generic. Trying to join bank accounts when we hadn't been together for long. The relationship had just begun and I was still living with my parents while studying at university. My mum was in control of my bank account at the time. He insisted we join bank accounts. This was an early sign of abuse because it was the first time he attempted to gain control over me. I wanted to run it by my mum first, as I declined. He then took his frustration out on me. This is 17. So this is 2017. Scroll down. My mum saw our conversation. I'm not going to bother then. I'll tell you what she told me, though. She said that you are controlling. It will get worse the longer our relationship progresses. She doesn't want to see me take shit from you and constantly trying to defend myself. It's bullying. And that people like you never change. She doesn't want me to be in a controlling relationship like this and is constantly living in the shadow of your ex. You compare me to her. She's not letting me go to America anymore because now she's worried about what you might do to me. She said that this is a form of domestic abuse, that no man should be like this. For the relationship to work, we have to respect one another and we have to approach each other as equals because what she sees is empowerment. I'm not going to bother because at the moment I don't see as equal. And quite honest, I'm tired of people not giving me 100% effort. Yeah, I mean, we may have got another hand yesterday. But you were being as dense as a brick wall. Okay, this very much makes me hate him again. This guy is a moron. I told you already it takes two to tango. If you're not with me on finances, romance, work ethic, cleanliness, then obviously you're not. But that could be any of those. Clearly finances will sink this relationship faster than Titanic. I knew we were effed. This is 2017. Again, did her mum hate her during this or not? Fruit's mom being smart. Lynn, I mean, either Aprimum is Fruit's second personality or there was never bad blood, because which person that doesn't like you would go to lengths to copyright strike someone just because her daughter says? Yeah, that sounds like really solid advice from her mum. Yeah, honestly, if anything, the person who is emerging best from this document is Aprimum. I am almost ready to take back my comments that I made a long time ago on Aprimum being an idiot. The guy is a wave with ups and downs, yes. This is terrible. Again, I don't like Fruit, but I can, again, see her points in all this. This thing, yeah, I agree with her on this. This genuinely sketchy. This a bad sign. Abort, abort, abort. Don't be with a man who's like this. Verbal abuse over leaving my computer to go make noodles. Context. This is one of many examples I have of his abusive verbal exchanges. For context, I had told him that I needed to go make a bowl of instant noodles. Back in 2017, I was a uni student. Gas stove that we shared was broken. The fire would not ignite, and none of us had a lighter. I was AFK 40 minutes to fix my stove. My ex did not approve of me being away for so long and blew up at me. Have you forgotten there's a terrorist threat in our nation? It has been over a week, or are you blind? There are a million different things that can go wrong. Someone could break in, you could actually hurt yourself. Ship and falls, so many other things, and I don't even know where you'd be to let someone know to get help. When I'm sorry you worried about me, right up your ass so you don't care. Calm your tits, douchebag. You didn't even read what I had to say, case in point. So that's why I'm so worked up. Yeah, this is classic army man idiot behavior. I can understand. This is all basically textbook exactly what my mother used to tell me about. Big whale, okay, I call BS. There's no way she's a British girl at uni and there's no kettle to boil water. Porian, never get involved financially with an army man. The demographic that buys V6 Mustangs on credit are to be avoided in business. I agree. Cancer-inducing instant noodle maxim. Terrorism like Antifa? Yeah, he's being an idiot here. I don't care about any of this nonsense. He takes this moment to compare himself to me to show how much of a better, more intelligent person he is. He criticized me about everything, compared me to him every single time. Gigadramon 6, regardless of your opinions on Fruit, it's clearly pretty clear this guy is just awful. I agree, he's completely awful. He seemed to really want to help me out with my issues, so I sent him a video of my stove not working and used an opportunity to take control of the situation by choosing to not help me after all. Besides, why the F are you coming to me for help after you ignored me for 40 minutes, only to tell me you can't figure out a stove, but you could ask your friend who can't explain something to you apparently. You expected me to just up and help you after you blatantly ignored me over a stupid stove. So it's an effed situation all around. Good lord, yeah, this is terrible. This guy is talking himself into an abuse, into a divorce, sorry. I don't care about this stove stuff. My stove is literally broken, but he equates it to me being incapable of using any in-house appliances. I mean, you're a woman. It happens. Like, name one VTuber who is actually capable of using appliances without very serious and grievous bodily harm being a constant threat. He noticed how I was right in saying I have never blamed it on dyslexia and decided to move the focal point of the conversation to me calling him ignorant. He will always insult me. This is all the same thing. I don't care about this part of the document at all. He starts to block me like a bully. I don't need a reminder. I don't care. I don't give a shit about this stuff. It's all so petty and ridiculous. Shit relationship, mega yes, abuse, meh. I agree. This is just petty, stupid, ridiculous train wreck back and forth and nonsense. And they're all talking to each other in very short and stupid sentences. Helgeb, I like that the man throws up more red flags than an F1 season, yet she still chooses to go to America to meet him after that. Big Whale, yeah, he's awful, and she's retarded for not getting out of Dodge months ahead of time. Yep, this is This reminds me very much of Raziel and who the hell is the Nichi-sanji guy? This is a Raziel and Luca Kenishiro. Luca Kenishiro and Raziel Warmonic. That could be a clone of this relationship in so many ways. That just kind of struck me. Yeah, this is Luca and Raziel all over again, except this time she's not releasing it to try and destroy Nichi-sanji. I can fix him, woman who couldn't fix him. That guy there sounds like they deserve each other. I mean, nobody deserves abuse. Even the worst people don't deserve abuse. Jedi Dusk, the dude is the PK Patchworks guy, or am I misremembering? What? Can anyone verify that? The Froot's ex-husband is the PK Patchworks guy? Is that true? Chat, you need to fact check this for me, please. He is? No, PK Patchworks was his friend. I'm getting confusing signals here. Big Whale, let's get a Luca and Froot collab. See if she has PTSD flashbacks being exposed to similar behaviors. Yeah, I'm gonna have to press X to doubt without a pretty damn good source on that. He kicked me out of his house with nothing but the clothes I was wearing. He was in the States and he was mad at me, so he kicked me out of his house. All I had were the clothes I was wearing on my phone. I couldn't drive, unfamiliar with the area, alone, etc. while he was having a tantrum. This was because he took me to a shooting range and I just wanted to watch him shoot and not participate. He was furious that I was reluctant to shoot his gun and refused to speak to me for 2 days. He embarrassed me in public in front of his friends over something so minor. Do you have any idea how much I would love to go to America and shoot guns? If I ever get to America, the first thing I'm going to do is go to a shooting range, trust me. Not shooting a gun with an American is a huge cultural faux pas if it's true. Yep, I mean, it's not... I think that he's a dickhead for being this mean to her over it. You should not kick your wife out of the house if she doesn't want to shoot your gun, but... But, on the other hand, I can understand why he's pissed. Here is one of many examples of how he found out to make sure I was never a right way for me to do something. And there's more student stuff. Is there anything else in this document I actually care about? He asked me to put makeup on when we video called because I wasn't pretty enough without it. I am not going to comment here. I am not going to comment on this. Would you like to comment on that, Proctor? No, I would not. No, I would not. Thank you. I would not like to comment on this. Another time, he said I looked stupid and pulled weird faces when I was working on art commissions while video calling him. He just often made unsavory comments about my looks. It damaged my view of myself permanently. The depression in this situation caused me to experience recurring sleep paralysis, and sometimes I saw hallucinations in the room I confined myself in. After he manipulated me into feeling like I can't live without him, he broke up with me every time things didn't go his way to mess with my emotions and force me to change for him. Why did you go back to him if he broke up with you? Sagittarius I. Proctor, tell me if I'm right in this understanding of the situation. It's basically that one War Games quote, a strange game, the only winning move is not to play. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable summation of this. This is two very immature, very stupid, very toxic people in a bad relationship with each other. This relationship was doomed. And now she is very blatantly mining it for, well, for clicks. Halshep, he broke up with me 47 times, but I kept coming back. That's just the way women are. Okay? I long since stopped judging women for this because they're like this. That's just the way they are. That's just the way they are. As Kirsha says, a woman's love is an incredibly powerful thing. Please don't abuse it. Women mind drama instead of crypto. Let me have a look at this. Our relationship with unhealthy and my depression just increased, which caused me to lose motivation in living. Apparently I didn't do enough. The experience has changed the way I take in the world, and I've slowly been coming back out of my shell. I have all my friends, my family, my community, and VShojo to thank for that. We're nearly done. He often talked to me about how much of an awful person his ex-wife was and compared me to her. And then the document just kind of ends. When it came to depression, I actually tried more than once to help myself. I went to see my GP about my depressive episode I was going through, and she told me to sort out my relationship before she could help me and sent me home. I was too scared to seek any help after that, and now I'm too scared to see a doctor about anything until something is physically wrong with me. I have much more proof of the abuse I faced back then, but I've been trying to make this document for a whole year now. Yeah. Why does it then say this document was created on the 18th of September 2024? I have decided there is no value in putting my time and energy into this anymore. I am closing this chapter of my life. I have finally been able to come to terms with what happened and would like to move on. This is closure for myself. I would like to focus on continuing to bring music, art, and etc. After these events, I now suffer from depression and increased levels of anxiety and agoraphobia. I struggle to deal with friends and family getting too close to me and often drift of myself away in fear of getting hurt again. The home I self-isolate in is my safe space for VTubing, drawing art, etc. I know how valuable time is, and I won't take up too much of yours. Don't let others judge how you view people. Make judgments on your own terms by your own experiences. But the GP was right, you just didn't listen. Yes. Oh, dear. This is a total mess of a document. All of that to quell one rat. I'm closing. I'm getting closure. Makes 90-page document and post it all online. Don't worry, Froot. We all make mistakes. Do agoraphobic people usually go to conventions? Yeah, she had I love how she says, I struggle to deal with friends and family getting too close to me. At V-Expo, she had like 5 or 6 friends all mooning around her in very close proximity. Froot is just using this for clicks. Both Froot and his ex are garbage human beings, and VShojo should release Froot. That's a pretty good summary, Jinx and Cassio fan. The doc is done in 2 weeks, and that's when you are watching streams most of the time. Yep, that doesn't make sense to me. She had very little time to put this together, and yet she managed to do it. Let me take a drink. Actually, I'm going to take a break for like 30 seconds because I need to go to the bathroom, so I will be right back, gentlemen. Give me a moment. Hello, gentlemen, I've returned. Sorry about that. Women love posting their L's. Unfortunately, that is so true. There is some more stuff that I wanted to go through, so I will move on to that now. This is very, 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 very draining. Honestly, this is a terrible document. I hate it, and I'm annoyed that I had to go through it because It's just you just can't salvage anything from this nonsense. Okay, let's move on to this is because somebody brought up the K, the slash K, like the commando Discord stuff. In a art, the timestamp difference could be explained with that. In Germany, a lot of the doc is written and prior and sign with a date when finished. I'm not 100% certain what you mean there, but I'll take your word for it, basically. So, in K Commando, in the Commando Discord, Froot was active in 2018, and I asked my Discord, and they provided me with these rather useful timestamps. It surprisingly never comes up about her, because this is in regard to the K people. And as Kuririnji said, a lot of people defending her try to pass it off as a 4chan troll, and that these comments are faked. Because there were some dudes on VT who made a fake trans ally profile to troll her with those comments. The argument they use there is, I saw this used on 4chan, they hate her, they must be running gay ops to make her look bad with fake stuff. Unicorn Riot archived the Discord ID specifically for that. You can plug whatever info Unicorn Riot gives out into a Discord ID lookup to get her current profile. And Kuririnji points out, yes, it's very clear cut. So Unicorn Riot is basically a Discord archiving service. Being Whale, I expected a better looking document from a Corpo. 3 out of 10, I got mad. Daniel Sierra, when you stare long enough into the abyss, the void stares back at you, sorry. I do agree. So we'll go over to this stuff. As Faceless Waifu said, I can confirm that's her since she used to be in a server I was ex-Janny for, and the server still has her posts. So this is just Kuririnji providing receipts to prove that what we are going to look through now is actually from Froot. This came from Froot's official Discord account. This is not a fake account. Last post was back in 2019. That's also her old Twitter account back when she was still posting art as an artist. She pretty much deleted, but Discord embeds saved her artworks. Kuririnji, people in my mentions are trying to make all kinds of excuses for her now. She's embarrassed and she changed. This is a recurring thing with Froot as well. People will say, oh, Froot has changed. They're willing to give Froot a pass on all of this nonsense. But on the other hand, there are so many people who have said much more milder things than Froot is confirmed to have said, and yet they are never forgiven and they are hunted to this very day. Taffinator, that document read like some kind of fever dream or some really badly made for TV drama. I completely agree with that take. So, Unicorn Riot obtained hundreds of thousands of messages from white supremacist and neo-Nazi Discord chat servers after Charlottesville. Unicorn Riot Discord leaks open far-right activity centers to public scrutiny through data journalism. Yes, Sayu is a very good example of someone who never said anything half as bad as Froot, and yet she is still gone after so much time. So this is from Froot. This is just something basic. I doubt you can make my sister sane. There's Noodles. Froot, give me your sister. I'll take her and make her sane again. I can fix her. This man Noodles has tremendous I can fix her energy. This is just from all the servers that she was in. But the main thing is here, the thing that she is called over, she is now very much a trans ally. However, does this look like the comments of... does this right here look like the comments of somebody who is a trans ally? Sorry, I forgot I was on just chatting. Imagine cutting your bollocks off in hopes to grow a fully operational vagina. That's very strange. That's a very interesting thing for someone who is a trans ally to say. I'm not sure. I don't think I believe her. I don't think I believe her when she says that she is a based trans ally. Yeah, Dim the Lamp, Lamau based, Magdalena's Rex based. I mean, yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong, guys. Daniel Sierra, they take care of their own. Big whale, cut twice, transition once. Sagittarius eye, based in it. It is pretty based. However, if you go on Twitter, there are so many people who are arguing, no, that's not the case. She's repented, she's wrong, or you're wrong, this was fake, but she's changed. You can't change. That's a joke. These people's entire progressive ideology is that you can't change. Let me go back to my tabs for a second. That was the one I already covered. That was the one I already covered. Yep. Oh yes, I like Tectone's response in all this. Now, Tectone is kind of an asshole. I don't like Tectone at all. But Tectone made a very good point. When Google documents are put out, you should actually read them before supporting the post. I understand this platform is a clout-chasing F-fest, and the faster you comment, the more likes and traction you'll get, but I know for a fact you can't read a Google Doc, a 90-page Google document in 3 minutes. Big Whale, remember what the guy said earlier in the doc? You just chase the crowd? Yeah, that guy saw through her. Taffinator, you never change, you simply hide your power level until discovered. So Tectone here, for all of his ways, definitely makes a very good point in all of this. And I made these comments as well on my Discord. And I said here, you can tell that every action Froot takes means she not only feels zero remorse for anything she has ever done, but she looks down on and is disgusted by anyone who doesn't think she was always perfectly in the right. So people feel no mercy for her in kind. They look and they see a bitch. Someone who hates them for not being an unconditional simp and isn't afraid to show it. That kind of attitude is what inspires long-term grudges and ensures there is always a brigade of people waiting patiently in line to bring up all your past faults back into the limelight at every opportunity you give them. There are literally thousands and thousands of people out there with drama worse than hers online that's newer, yet it doesn't get constantly brought up. Why? They changed. They owned up. They apologized. They showed by their actions they had learned a lesson and were committed to not repeating the same behaviors. Froot comments, oh, we'll get to him. We'll get to him, guys. I actually have some tabs on Requiem Reaper. I'm just going to call him Noct because that's much easier for my voice to take. Noct is somebody that came across my radar very much so. So I think for some levity, I'll tab over to him, and then we will look at Kayson's contribution to this whole thing. So here we have under this tab a grouping that I've called Fruit's Biggest Simps. Yes, here it is. Trigger point for a good laugh. Oh yeah, Fruit's stalker is DMing me again. Noct, you still don't know when to shut up. For a good laugh, here is the shit he sent me 6 months ago. I'll be blunt and to the point. Your tweets about Froot need to stop and be deleted. They are nothing but slanderous and false accusations against her for no reason. I don't know what your and false problem is, but Froot didn't do any of that shit. And I don't know where you people get off to slandering her name, but I won't allow it. Is that how it's going to be? I don't know where you people get off insulting and spreading false accusations about Froot, but let me tell you, as long as I'm around, I won't allow it. She is a very kind person with an amazing community, and you and False need to stop all that hate towards her. These are BS rumors and shit. Need to stop y'all. Made up shit to slander her for no damn reason. Is this the same guy that LM features? I don't know because I didn't watch LM's video yet. Yes, stupid can't be cured. Well, I'll tell you, this all you haters are gonna have to deal with me if y'all want to dislike Froot so much. And that fraud false, I'm calling him out to you. All this guy types so terribly. I'm calling him out to you, all who want to hate on Froot, better be prepared to deal with me. You don't insult my queen and spread false accusations about her and think you'll get off easy. She ain't gonna F you, dude. She is my queen, and I'm the only one who's loyal to her, and only one who's worthy of her. All you haters who spread misinformation and accusations seriously need to apologize to her. Y'all spread her accusations for nothing, 'cause she ain't did anything. Lamau, Froot simps out there thinking her vagina will land on his baby-making organ. This is somebody with a kill count in something like the 6 or 7 by now. This guy sounds 13. I think he's been on this train for years and years and years. Imagine simping for Froot. I know, it's very, very sad. Very sad indeed. You are my queen! I don't even know you, y'all. Unironic, my queen. Holy cannoli, we are one of God's own prototypes. Big whale, this is why diagnosed and suspected autism should require a permit to have internet access. That means that I commend your desire to quarter the number of people who use the internet in one fell swoop. Where was the next thing that I was going to go to? I'm just going to close down some of my old tabs. Close. We can close that. And delete group. That's the document. Delete group. Some people in the thread that I specifically made for VShojo, because I decided that after all of this, VShojo deserved its own thread. So I titled it VShojo, the original edgy mean white girl corpo, now unofficial Niji-sanji in a Hololive retirement home. I need to move a bunch of stuff into this thread. Now it's VShojo. Magdalenus Rex, that legit sounded like one of the tangents you did where you played into the exaggeration of the person, but no, he actually called her his queen. These are the people that get called fruit simps. Good lord, I thought this stuff was parody. It's wild to see it actually happening. I agree. A Dogbone here said it very well. I'm just going to say it. A lot of VTubers are sucking Fruit's dick for clout. You can make an argument that whoever replied in support is naive or didn't know, but they sure as shit should know now. The people who stand by what they said in support of Fruit deserve to get shit on. Does that mean death threats? No. Does that mean inflammatory DMs? No. At the same time, I'm having a hard time giving much of a shit when they jump on a bandwagon for attention and asspats from other retards. FK Sol in particular because she should know what happened with people in her own company. I know VShojo is more of a mean girl clique than a company, but come the F on. Henya was harassed by people in Fruit's corner, and it's effed up that dumb British cunt acts like a victim when she's sicked retarded progs on others. Fruit is the town bicycle in Bongland, and she owes some dickless British men 50,000. Congratulations, Dogbone. This was a fantastic first post in this thread. Here, let me just give you a winner react, actually. And speaking of Kason, we've mentioned her multiple times now. So Kason came out and she spoke out about this. She made a big tweet. Now, credit to her, she was one of the only people that actually stood up and said something that wasn't 100% Fruit positive. Here she is. Oh boy, everyone is being so nasty about this post, and I just noticed it. Not getting the situation correctly, but I admit I have only read the first few pages of the document. I rushed to show love and support to my VShojo sis. I think that's also what the other girls did. Let me make myself clear about this because I don't want any misunderstanding. No, I do not tolerate cheating. As an Oni-san of VShojo, I have the right to slap her in the face if she did so. I know nothing about relationships. Who am I to judge about her past? But at the end of the day, Fruit has been nothing but nice to me from day one. I wonder why. And that's all that matters to me. So yes, I will support my girl if she is feeling down. I will respect her opinion, right or wrong, but persuade her good luck if she is going the wrong way. That's the kind of friend I want. I don't judge people by what they are said to be like on the internet. I only judge by what someone is towards me, because of what I have experienced. This is my opinion, thank you for reading this. Magdalena's Rex, she traded Watame for this. Big Whale, is it Fruit has been nice, or is it Fruit has limited communications so she can put up a facade of niceness? That's a good point. Lamau censors the F word, but full frontal says cunt, never change, Proctor. Yeah, I will never change. Oh, Kason, you poor naive beauty. Yeah, Kason is... I mean, Kason is like a Miori, or whatever, however the hell you pronounce it. The Mad Matter, and then Kason got a slap on the wrist to move to more than likely protect VShojo's sponsor, who probably have a non-disparagement clause gone over by Legal Mindset. Yeah, a Legal Mindset stream about this was pretty accurate and pretty interesting. I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch a little bit of it. Hikiko Mori. Hikiko Mori, thank you. Yeah, I was wondering, I thought it wasn't Mori, because I immediately thought of Mori Calliope, and I thought I was, like, making a conjugation inside my own head that didn't exist. Talent freedom denied, yes. Because when Kason first joined VShojo, she made a great big song and dance about how much freedom it had, which some people took as kind of anger at the way Hololive treated her. And I always want to be clear, Hololive definitely messed up when it came to Kason. They were incompetent to deal with the whole Taiwan harassment thing. However, I think Kason took it a bit far when she was parading around on Twitter how much more talent freedom she had under VShojo. Sagittarius Eye, oh yeah, it's absolutely an optics move to not run afoul of non-disparagement clauses and the like. Yeah, as this archive says as well, Kason still somehow seems to be arse-pained over Hololive. I think that she does have a legitimate grievance, because Hololive gets away with a lot of stuff. Again, Hololive is still a good company, but they have made massive mistakes in the past, and people have called them out on it. So this is her. Okay, management told me to delete it, so that I did. I'll leave this here because this is what I think. So Froot can do this massively retarded thing, and she's allowed to keep it up. Kason makes a very, very mild jab at her. A very mild jab, mind you. I think that Kason could have gone far harder and still been completely in the right. And mysteriously, management is like, oh yeah, please, down, please delete that immediately, delete that. I think that is incredibly hypocritical of VShojo. Really, really hypocritical. Sagittarius I, I'm willing to give Kason a pass on this. It seems like she wasn't entirely aware of Froot shenanigans. I would find it very interesting if Kason... When do VShojo contracts renew? We know because a whole bunch of people left VShojo. Like Nyanners and Silvervale and so on, they all left at the same time, so we know around what time their contracts are up for renewal. So, if somebody can note that down, it would be very interesting to see if Kason stays with VShojo after this. Around summer. Okay, so it's like a year. Yeah, that's annoying. Big Whale, they handled it poorly, but at the same time, the company was relatively in its infancy. EN had been around for longer than the entire length of time Holo. EN has been around for longer than the entire length of time Hololive was a thing when Coco left, right? Taffinator, didn't Holo also not act to the harassment of Vtuber because of an accidental leak to where Niji Sanji were proactively protecting the talents and going after harassers? I vaguely recall what you're talking about, but not the full details of it. Big Whale, the way that she had to clarify she didn't tolerate cheating says to me that the closeness isn't there at all, or she would have known better to comment on it and stuck to her resolve. Is Henya still on hiatus? I forget if Henya has come back from hiatus, because if Henya has said anything about this I'm not aware of, I really hope that Henya doesn't say anything about this. Because if Henya has, like, sided with Froot after what Froot did to her, Henya is dodging a bullet here. I really, really hope she doesn't say anything. I really, really hope so. Because Froot has never apologized for what she did to Henya. Gijamon 6, I think this is also a situation where Kason's English skills have deteriorated, but I didn't realize the nuance of the wording. That's also entirely possible. Big Whale, Henya will come back and play Quidditch racing or some shit. That would be hilarious. Sagittarius Eye, say nothing, Dio! Dim the lamp, Zen was quiet. I think that maybe Iron Mouse Buck broke Zentreya incredibly hard. Armchair Expert, this single document has eroded both the friendship and talent parts of VShojo's branding. I absolutely agree with you. Azahara-chan, to be fair, Froot never did anything to Henya. She only sided with the harasser side. I mean, I still consider that to be kind of doing something to it. If Froot didn't go to Henya afterwards and say, look, I had a tiny part in what happened to you, I'm very sorry, I won't let it happen again, that would be reasonable. I don't expect her to make a public apology about that. Sagittarius Eye, the funniest thing for Henya to do would be to play Hogwarts Legacy at last. Mantlinus Rex, Zen is still a POS, but at least they're not a constant brand damage to VShojo. Froot is actively the last of the Niana's Mean Girls clique harming the corpo. Yeah, I noticed that does Niana's even stream any longer? Because I've not heard a single thing about Niana's since she left VShojo. Azahara, you are expecting the woman that dodges accountability to take accountability for something that wasn't directly her fault. Not going to happen. I do agree. That is an entirely irrational attitude. Pontiff of Punwolf, there is a Froot simp in my comments on the mistakes clip, claiming that Froot talked to Silvervale directly early in her silent stream and offered support. I had never heard this claim until a couple of days ago. I have never heard of that before as well. Zen currently has a massive collab with Nikkei about to drop, so Zen is probably playing it super safe to not mess it up. Good. She fell off a cliff in terms of CCV. Niana's fell off super hard. She streamed with the VShojo girls for the first time in forever just a few days ago. You still going at it, Proctor? I'm probably going to end soon. My head is starting to hurt just a bit. She would have apologized, but dyslexia didn't allow her to do so. The Mad Matter. Niana's streams still just more with Lord Aethelstan, her boyfriend. There's also a rumor going around that Niana is preggers for some reason. Okay. Well, if she has settled down to be a trad wife, good for her, honestly. Madlinus Rex, I'm sad that Nazuna is such a train wreck. Was a good shift away from the style of Mikiniko, but she decided to maintain being a mentally ill cat instead. What did Zen do? There's a video where a guy claims she must have made the charity donation privately. Some of the simps are nuts. Gigadramon 6. Aunt Hime did a lot of damage by misrepresenting the context of the we all make mistakes. She said it in her own chat, not Silvervale's. Yeah, I was made aware of that as well. I believe that she said it in Silvervale's chat as well. But no, she did actually say it in her own chat and not Silvervale's. I blame Aunt Hime an awful lot for the nonsense around Froot. I think that if Aunt Hime had not actively lied, had done nonsense like spread fake AI nudes and claimed they were Froots, then Froot's fall from grace would have come a lot sooner. Whereas the moment Aunt Hime did any of that, all of the people that were on Froot's side were just like, oh, look, people are spreading actual misinformation about her now. Look, she's just being attacked by horrible, evil bullies. You can't believe the horrible, evil bullies. How dare you do that? Yeah, that was a terrible move. This is why, even if you are a drama tuber, you don't lie. You don't make up drama. Don't make it up. Tell the truth. Sagittarius Eye, why is Nui being called the chaos goddess of VTubing? I feel like I'm missing an in-joke. I couldn't even begin to explain it because I don't watch Lumi. Is Ant even a tuber? Ant is apparently not doing anything at the moment. Now then, well, what do we do next? Yeah, Froot did make an update to this, which is a very much more ridiculous thing. Froot, I have never condoned harassment of any kind because of how much I have personally had to deal with. To even think that I would have involvement in any form of harassment is ridiculous. I will continue to not condone it. I ask my community to keep looking after yourselves, and if you ever feel frustrated, take a break, watch a movie, play a video game, spend time doing what you enjoy. This is the most self-serving bullshit that she has come out with in a while. X to doubt the Twitter post. Yeah, as Armchair Expert just said, this was such a context-blind, myopic post. Shutting up is never an option for these people. Dim the lamp. Oh, this Lamau. Go and see the reaction of... I don't know. I don't have his reaction to it, so Dim the lamp. If you're in my Discord, feel free to ping me with it and to see it. I do have more Dim the lamp content, actually. Give me a moment, please. My mouse is acting up. I'm going to stream for another 10, 15 minutes at most. Where are we? Good grief, I've got a bunch of pings. Right, where's the pinned messages? I pinned these messages in my chat. Oh yeah, here's my original post on the whole thing as well, where this is the evidence. I said at the start, I can't help but notice that a certain someone has just dropped a massive pity-party Google document about how awful her life is and how everyone should unconditionally sympathize with and support her because a currently very topical issue happened to her. Pick unrelated. And this is Froot the Lich's channel. Channel performance over time. You can see steady, and then the metrics are odd because when she started streaming, she had this gargantuan jump up to 8K views, up to 8K CCV for like debut and everything. So it makes the rest of the metrics very kind of even and weird. But you can see here, 2,826 CCV in January of 2024. By, yeah, July, August. So about here. So, look, she's actually streaming more hours than she was back in July and Jan 24th. 1,826 CCV. So her CCV has dropped by half. Or by 1,000, rather. Her CCV is now 1,000 lower by the time she dropped this doc. You can't rewrite the act now, Froot. It's too late. I agree. Like I said, no one condones harassment, but they do know how to dog whistle for it. Precisely. Gigadramon 6, I mean, one bit of circumstantial evidence that we all make mistakes comment wasn't intended as an attack against Silvervale. Silver didn't say anything about it when she left VShojo. Silvervale is a very, very connected high-up VTuber. There is no way in hell Silvervale is stupid enough to start a beef with Froot over this kind of thing. Silvervale is a calculating operator. I actually quite like Silvervale. She's a very sweet person, and she genuinely seems to be a nice person overall. But she is a savvy enough business operator to know that she is not going to make any kind of announcement over this. Silvervale succeeds by shutting up and being a better content creator than Froot. That's how Silvervale wins, not by starting catfights with Froot online, okay? That's how Silvervale wins, and I respect Silvervale more for just going away, doing her own thing, and letting Froot fail on her own terms, than trying to go after her in a Mean Girls, you attacked me, so I will now destroy you, bitch, kind of way. Because then both of them look bad. Whereas in this way, Silvervale still looks amazing. Silvervale has sat down, she has got all the victim points that she could ever ask for from all of this. People are sympathetic towards her. I'm sympathetic towards her. I wouldn't be if she'd gone after Froot over this. I would be laughing at her just as much as Froot. Ooh, so now, yes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh yes. This is Kuririnji again. You're very ineffective at making people play. It's been months since you threatened Grixit and he's still alive and kicking. We go to this as well. Oh, the page doesn't exist. Okay, so we only archived it. This page contains your... Oh, so this... So this is Trigger Point. Where is the 57k at, Froot? Oh, wait, you did this all for clout like usual. And this is... that's... Who is this? Yeah, this is the knocked guy. So you're one of the utter scum responsible for spreading hate and false accusations about her, huh? You're not only pathetic, but you're a piece of garbage who needs to be put in his place. How dare you spread hate about her, you damn monkey-ass MF. You'll pay. And of course, Noct replies to this, why don't you take your lolicon-enjoying ass and fuck right off, you disrespecting someone, when you overhear liking lolly art? Keep Froot's name out of your mouth. The base department of V1 says, aren't you the guy who infiltrated Varys' hangout to defend Froot, calling her your wife? Holy shit, you are. Hi, crazy guy. I'm sorry, he did what now? Yeah, I think an admin banned him for it. I've also caught him on YouTube videos doing the same thing. His homepage on here is a treasure trove. Years of simping for Froot. Makes me think this is genuine and not a troll. I guess he likes to threaten people a lot, Lamau. So yeah, Kuri Rinchi was nice enough to dump these screenshots of this guy Noct in my Discord, and I think as a denouement for this video, I will go and read those posts. Sorry, I'm just into my water now. I've had coffee, I've had cider, and now I'm onto water. That's how much my throat requires to keep going for more than a 3-hour stream. Sorry, just had to blow my nose. Why is he so cringe? You ain't seen nothing yet. Let me just scroll out a second so you can actually read this. Noct. It's not just her whole figure, but those hips, though. Ugh. I wish I could pull those down and have her ride me like the horse I can be. Just one lick, please, all the way down, and choke me afterwards, and call me your puppy. Make me cry and beg. Get me on all fours. Woof, woof! So this is his picture. This is his posts on Varys Hangout. On Varys Hangout, a dead lolicon forum. I may be late, but I will say, is everyone on this site pathetic? You all got nothing better to do than make up fake shit about Froot. I will ensure you all right now, if y'all don't take this bullshit down, there will be consequences. This is borderline targeted harassment. Leave Froot alone. She didn't do so. She didn't sow any of this shit. Stop spreading misinformation BS for no reason. I can promise y'all, if y'all keep saying fake crap about Froot, y'all have to deal with me. So leave my queen TF alone, or I'll have everyone on here reported for harassment. I won't be manipulated by all this false shit you're saying. I know Froot, and she is 100% innocent. You can all say the fake shit you want, but it doesn't change the fact it's fake misinformation. Y'all don't know shit about Froot. You hear me? Nothing. Froot is kind, hard-working, and has been through a lot. She don't need no internet trolls making shit up about her. Do you hear me? You mess with Froot, you mess with me! Y'all don't know shit about her, so I highly suggest y'all leave her alone. You don't like her? Whatever, but keep her name out of your mouths. I can and do 100% vouch for her when I say she's innocent. Leave my queen alone. Do you hear me? Leave her alone. I love her, and I won't have anyone saying fake shit about her. So you all need to listen. You insult her. You insult me. Froot is innocent. Leave my queen alone. I have to deal with you trolls everywhere. YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, and now here. Let me tell you this. Froot is innocent. Y'all want to go after Froot with false information? Then go after me. Let it be known, anyone who tries to go after Froot with all this fake BS, I will be there to defend her. Just for the record, for those listening just on audio, I am not in any way adding anything to this. This isn't like my Evil Toaster stream where I kind of ad-libbed a bunch of extra stuff. No, this is all 100% his words. This has to be a troll account. Currently, Froot is not doing any controversial shit at the moment, so you're good for now. I will still gainer hate VTubers for stupid shit. This is Blackjack, by the way. Blackjack is a massive lol cow as well. Knocked Lich. No, I'm not a troll. I'm 100% legit real, and someone 100% loyal to Froot. Froot names Mako too lich, and I'm no troll. I know and I believe in Froot, and she never did any of that shit. I can always vouch for her anytime. Froot is my queen, and I'll always defend her cause. I'm the only one who's loyal to her. You don't believe me? I am on Twitter. The point is to take this stupid post down, full of information, and leave my wife alone. Leave my wife alone. Laugh at me all you want, I don't care. I'm 100% serious. You're all trashing my wife, and you need to stop. I know she's innocent. Y'all are posting fake-ass shit or pathetic. I will always defend my wife, so leave her alone. Let me see if there's anything more substantive here, because there's like 20 posts of her. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Of course I desire her. I am genuinely in love with the Froot. I've been in love with her for about 2 years now, and I know damn well the shit you just pulled up is false, because Froot isn't that type of person. More than any man on this earth, I am in love with her, and I won't tolerate slander towards her. I have seen that same shit on Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and now here. Let me tell you people, this Froot isn't that type of person. Anyone can fake shit. Froot is genuine and kind. I love her. I'm so in love with her, and I believe in her and her innocence. I'll always defend her. And you people making up fake pictures isn't going to change that Froot never did those things. I believe in her. I'm no troll. I'm just someone in love with Froot, and I'm the only ones who worth and he just completely degrades. That's just completely degraded the coherence. You all always bring up screenshots and pictures like you're the fucking FBI or some shit without ever thinking about how Froot feels. She goes through so much personally, and having to deal with dumbass haters and trolls online. Not only are these screenshots fake, but it's absolutely disrespectful to accuse Froot of such horrible things. And let's entertain your BS. Let's say if it was true, she isn't that person today. She's changed, guys! She's a great streamer who is funny, kind, and caring. She makes great music, and is a beautiful and hard worker, juggling everything she has to go through. And you people don't understand that. Y'all don't think about how she may feel. It's all about spreading hate with you all. Y'all insult her. She already doesn't get enough recognition, yet she does the best she can with time zones, personal life, and juggling everything. I may not be as active on her as her fandom is, but she's built a great community, and you people waste time on fake-ass shit and fake-ass pictures. Froot is an amazing human being. It's not about the character she plays, but her as a person. Her as a person. Yeah, maybe I don't get acknowledgement, but I love her, and I'm okay with people making fun of me for loving her. Apricot of VShojo isn't the person y'all claim she is. She's a wonderful human being that has goals and does so much hard work. And all these fake-ass photos and claim she did this or that needs to stop because she is innocent. And before you say it, no, I'm not a troll, just someone who's genuinely in love with Froot. Wait, isn't Froot a fake woman? No, that's Zentreya. Heljeb, you think God stays in his heaven out of fear of the electric demon box created? Froot is a notoriously boring streamer, by the way, with pretty low streaming hours, hard worker, lol. And honestly, there's something else that I'm going to be doing tonight, so that requires the use of my voice, so I think I'm going to end this stream here because we are now at 3 hours and 30 minutes. I might do a follow-up on Monday when I do TVA and review. I might dedicate the first 30 minutes of that to covering more Froot stuff. But I think we have ended very much on a high note here. I think it really underlines just how the kind of insane person that Froot is still courting. She's going to be left with nobody but those people. Those kind of people, like Noct, are going to be the only people that stick with her in the end. After everyone else has left her, that's all that she's going to have. And I think, at the end of the day, she shouldn't call it a grave. She should call it the future that she chose. And And with that, gentlemen, I am going to go and get some rest. Thank you for everything. Have a nice night.